And good day to all you wonderful, beautiful people. Sorry I got a bit of a late start. I got called into work last night, as I feared. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Hey, Mr. Clever, thanks for hopping over and visiting us. Really appreciate that. Watched a little bit of your stream yesterday. Well, that was some crazy stuff. Let me give you. I know there's probably not a lot of people here right now, but it seems like the thing to do. If I can type. Try that. Newest sub. Yeah, I seen that, and I thank you so much for that subscription, KT. And for those of you that don't know KT or Caruso, I've asked him how to pronounce that 10 times, and I still remember it. Caruso, Sue, something like that. He's been a great supporter of the channel, of me, of this adventure. I really appreciate it. A lot of it wouldn't happen without his help. So thank you again for that. I really, really appreciate it. We don't have the sub badges yet. We hit affiliate yesterday after a month of streaming because you guys are so fantastic. And I really, really appreciate that. Mr. Clever with the sub as well. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are so amazing. And you guys have made this adventure so worth it. And I love it so much. Between the elite community and some of the other streamers that we have, like Mr. Clever, like Mr. Big Rick O'Shea, been such a huge help and made such a huge difference in making this successful and making it an engaging experience. So thank you so much for that. But I don't have my sub badges yet. We just got affiliate yesterday. I got called into work last night. I didn't get home till about 2 a.m. I'm not a night owl. At least not since I've been back to working for a while on those early day shifts. So I'm a little bit out of it still. I had to finish up the puppy pictures today, get those uploaded, get them sent out, got that done. I promised you guys yesterday that I would I would be playing some new music today, and I haven't had a chance to even do that. So is that a bowling shirt? No, it's I don't know. I've had them for a while. They're just it's kind of my thing usually. I don't actually have a lot of t-shirts. Typically I wear some kind of collared shirt. I don't know. I need to go out and get some really cool t-shirts in my opinion. That's what I need to do. And thank you so much for the congratulations on the affiliate, Mr. Clever. I appreciate that. And I know it's a very small stepping stone, but it is a big one for me. And the first time that we've gotten that, we did stream once before, been many years ago. It wasn't that successful, overly successful, but we're really going to try to make a go of it, and we're going to keep plugging along. We enjoyed a lot. I'm taking off the follower goal because the thing is wrong anyway. It didn't really keep up with it. Something else I got to sort out. I did talk a little bit yesterday. I might be switching my stream software. Not sure. Have to see. It's going to take a lot of work. After this month, though, my schedule should free up a lot. This work that I've been doing and working 50 plus hours a week, it has been tough. Between that and my photography work and my consulting work, it has been tough. No, it's a big one. Don't know if it's just the song, but may want to up the volume a tad. It's a lot of Justin's music. It's very theatric in nature, and some of it can be quite loud and pretty quiet. So I kind of try to keep it it's fairly loud in my ears right now, and I don't know why it goes out in the stream so quiet. But I could turn it up a little bit, and we'll just play with it. I just don't want it to be overbearing on the stream because it's not a super critical part of it. Just adds to the ambiance of it. Today is our variety day. I apologize. My schedule has been absolutely crazy, and I usually try to really consider my variety day. Do we want to try to stream something else? We can always, our old faithful, which is Elite Dangerous, which we all love so much. But I like to try out new things. But because we're just kind of getting started and getting the ball rolling, I found, for me at least thus far, that variety days are typically more for your loyal followers, or the people that watch you a lot, that are more interested in what you do and what kind of stream you do. Because they're really low traffic when you're just getting started, and logistically that can hurt a touch. So you gotta be careful with it. But I like to check out new things. We've still got several new games to try, and I couldn't even rattle off the names at this point. I got quite a few a while back. just to, just for some stuff we can play with and try. I try to hang around the sci-fi theme if I can. That's just what I really enjoy. It doesn't mean we have to, but that's typically what I do. But today, at least for now, we're going to start with some Elite Dangerous. Last week, and again, I haven't touched this for almost a week now. Last week when we left off, I think we finished gathering our materials. We came back, we went and got a little data. We wanted to try to finish engineering that Eagle. I also mentioned that before I had some problems logging into YouTube. I had to clear some cookies out, and Coriolis, which is the ship builder for Elite Dangerous, stores your ship builds and cookies unless you do the extra step to save them yourself and back them up. And I hadn't done that. So I lost a lot of those builds, including this Eagle. So I kind of thought today we just get it starting out by saying, by going in, rebuilding this Eagle in Coriolis, getting that straight, seeing if we can somehow fit that enhanced thruster on there, because when we did get it, we do have it. It's just not installed because we didn't have the power for it. And we're gonna see if we can sort that out. I figure it'd be kind of a fun ride, and we can of course totally BS as we go. So I think that will be interesting, and if we want to do something else, we'll do that. Yeah, that's all I was saying. Now it's perfect background noise. Your voice overpowers it perfectly. Well, thank you for that feedback, Mr. Clever. I appreciate that. And we all like to hear, because with the soundboard that I use, its big selling point is that you as a streamer are supposed to hear exactly what your viewers hear, with the exception that you can add extra channels to just the streamer's headset, which I do, like my system sounds and whatnot. But I have found that the balance of music seems to be quite different from what you guys hear, and it's probably just the way I'm listening to it, because I'm listening with closed back headphones, which pretty much knocks out all my background noise and everything. And some of you might be listening through your speakers or earbuds or something like that, so that can play a little bit with it. Miss Empress, how are you today? Glad to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Missed you yesterday. We did our puppy stream. I want to give you a little shout out here, if I can type. And I really need to fix that too. This light is so bright and that text is so small, and I know there's a way to fix it, that I have a hard time reading it sometimes. Shut up, KT. I know I'm old. I don't need you repeating that. Thank you. But I need to fix that too. I got so much stuff that I want to do, so much stuff in mind. I got some really cool production quality stuff coming that I think is going to be super cool. I'm going to be adding some more music. We've been playing Justin Durbin's music, and if you don't know, I want to give him a shout out as well. He is a composer. He's been around. He's been doing music for a long time. He's a younger guy. He does mostly theatric style. He does stuff for independent films and whatnot. He's out of Austin, Texas. And I followed his work for a long time. When I got to streaming, I was like, what music am I going to play? And I thought about him. And I reached out to him. I told him what I did and what I wanted to do. And I said, hey, can I stream your music out? I'll, of course, shout you out. He said, absolutely. So there it is. Next Sunday, I won't miss the puppy stream. And that's okay. Hey, we're all busy. Believe me, if anybody knows, I know how busy life can get. And you can always check out the VODs. They're in the VODs. I also export those to YouTube if that's a thing and something that you like to do. I also, on Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you don't have to if it's not your gig, but I try to keep up there as well. If something happens, like today I was running late, and I know it was really close to the time, but I said, hey, I'm maybe a few minutes late. I was trying to get some stuff finished up. But, it really... streaming is such an odd thing. I say odd, and you people here, that you awesome streamers that are here kind of know, it becomes a passion. It's something that's very enjoyable. You like interacting with the community. You want to keep things on pace and upbeat, and you want to make sure you got all the right content for what you do, kind of brand yourself, if you will. And it takes a lot of time. And then you got to balance that with your normal life, your normal job, your family, taking care of the house and cars and kids, if that be the case, your animals, which we don't have a puppy in here with us yet today. I'm hoping to maybe get Gracie in here today, because Jackson spends a lot of time in here because Mom usually gets tired of him harassing her, so she'll come dump him in here. But we might get Gracie in here, try to get her in here for a bit a little later. We are going to, let's see, how should we do this? Well, I guess we can start out, we'll just hop over to Elite here for a second and See what I mean? That music to me is just really loud right now. I'm gonna back it down a little bit. And again, I love Justin's music, but because of the style of music, it's very loud, very quiet. Sometimes it's just strings, and sometimes it's a full-on orchestra. His music is so amazing. And most of this, and if you check him out, there's a link down below under, I think it's affiliations or something like that, or credits. I'm not sure exactly where I put it without looking at it right now. But if you go over and check out his work, you can get a lot of this stuff on CD. I highly recommend it if you like soundtrack style music. But some of this, he actually directed an entire orchestra to compose. And really, really cool stuff. Really good, really nice guy too. Well, let me see if I can remember how to use this HOTAS. Get some of this crap off my desk. And I haven't fixed that other camera as well. And I told you guys I was going to change the puppy cam to get it up higher, and it'll probably show you more of the room in general. I haven't done that yet either. But we're going to. It's going to get done, I promise. Anonymous access. Apparently I've done... Oh, this is when I was flying out the other day and hit a ship on the way out because he was parked in the slot. I think that's what that was. Yeah, all fines. Hey, we got 50,000 in codex discoveries from something. Maybe. What's that about? Let's try it. Oh, I guess because we got out of anonymous access. That's weird. That should be a bug, I think. We'll sell that because you know how much we need that money. We also showed some of the studio work yesterday on the puppy stream. If photography is a thing for you...
Now at maximum fuel capacity.
Oh yes, thank you. I don't know how loud that is either. Hopefully it's not too loud. If photography is a thing to you in general, or you like art, or you like dogs, definitely check out our Sunday stream. We have a lot of fun. We talk about the dogs. We talk about advocating for the dogs, fostering, how to help in general with the animals. And it's such a huge deal. You really don't, if you've never done it, you really don't get the full impact of it, of what that, what it means. And I want to change this camera as well. I hate talking to it. I look at my screens in front of me, but my camera's off to the side because my monitor's so big and my desk space is terrible. Again, all work in progress. We're gonna get that worked out, but to me it almost seems rude. I'm talking to my screen and not looking at you guys, and kind of drives me nuts. So we're gonna go to the shipyard. We are gonna grab our Eagle, whatever the heck I did with it. There it is. Maybe. Storage options. Use this ship. And we're gonna go over to Coriolis and rebuild that. I'm hoping not to bore you to death. We'll talk a little bit about it. I'm no big elitist builder or anything. I learn it, but I enjoy doing it and messing around with it from time to time. It helps you learn more about it. I really enjoy it. And I promise you by next Sunday, we will have the sub icons. I will figure it out. I will get something. I did ask yesterday, and maybe you guys in here have a little idea too, of how they might like some of those stuff, some of that stuff themed. And it probably varies depending on why you come around, but you know, I've thought of maybe some puppy stuff, or maybe more channel branding kind of stuff, or more elite stuff. I don't know. Ships. So ship icons, or is that what you're referring to? I don't know how well you'd be able to see that though, because I don't know. I'd have to look at that. Wonderful coffee. And another thing as well, I noticed watching a VOD the other day, and I'm not trying to be vain. I watch most of my VODs, at least to some capacity, so that I can see how it's going, see how I'm doing, see if there's things that drive me nuts that I hear in my stream that might drive other people nuts. And one of those things is this incredible microphone picks up like everything. So when I'm drinking something, if I drink something, you hear the all bodily functions, and I know that's kind of gross. I will get this microphone resituated here eventually, but with my current setup, it pretty much is the only place it can be right now. And that's going to change. It's going to change pretty soon, I hope. So let's go to outfitting. And let me get, and this probably won't work right either. Firefox updater, really. when I switch scenes in OBS, sometimes it just it doesn't want to behave properly. And okay, we got it this time. Like sometimes when I open this up, the web is like completely blank, and I have to reopen it. Kind of a nightmare. I don't even remember how in the world they spell that. I don't know if I put it in here or not. Ships build. There's no builds in here at all. And this is in Firefox. I know I have some. Let me check out. And the reason I use Firefox for streaming, all right, and if you're a streamer, you may already do the same thing or know why. The main reason that I do it is just privacy reasons. Not that I have anything I'm trying to hide or something, but sometimes you can get things that come up in your history or cookies or whatever that you just really prefer not to share with the world. So I use Firefox primarily for streaming, for mostly that reason. Not that I have some preference to it. But let me see if I had anything bookmarked over in Chrome. Imperial Eagle. Oh, is this it? This might be it. I might actually have it saved. Looks like this might be it, but this has the regular thrusters on it, and we wanted to try to put the enhanced version on it to see if we could get away with it. Now, why I really wanted to, what I was trying to do with this whole build is I wanted to try to recreate a fighter as much as possible. And while this ship is not nearly as fast as a fighter, it packs a punch. I think now this is a rail Eagle. And if you look at its DPS, it's 149 DPS with all weapons firing. Now that is also with this beam laser. This beam laser is here for two reasons. One is to help with the shields a bit, but another is to get rid of heat because it's a rail build. I did test this ship out in what I call a rolling chassis, which is basically I slapped the modules on it. I went out to some site or something, and I just started playing with it to see if it was actually viable. And it was really fun. Now I'm a terrible pilot, and using rails is very tricky if you're not pretty good at steadying your ship. FA off would probably be even more amazing. So we get done engineering this thing out the way you want. If it seems like it's really good build, I'll probably try to talk one of you really crazy pilots into building it as well, and go out and just show it to me. Show me what you can really do with it. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. So that's kind of what we're doing for now. We may also, I noticed now the Empress is in here. Reaper went and I guess he got Guardian fighters the other day. And he was showing that off, and the boost on those things sounds so amazing. It's like one of the coolest boost sounds I think I've ever heard. But that has kind of got me hyped up to go out and check out those Guardian fighters. So I have no idea at the moment how that works. What's that build on? This is the Eagle, Imperial Eagle, that we're trying to mess with here. And Mr. Bernardo, sorry, also another streamer. Great guy to go check out if you want to do that. I want to give him a little shout out here. And I am also going to get a quieter keyboard at some point. 7. I believe I spelled all that right. If I didn't, I apologize in advance. Go check him out as well. Another great streamer. We got all kinds of you really great people in here today, and I really appreciate all your support. Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever stuck enhanced performance thrusters on the Imperial Eagle? That's actually what we were just talking about. I have them. They're not on the ship at the moment because we don't have the power for it. If you want to get fast, slap some EPTs on ship. A lot of weight. Yeah, it's. I was more worried about the DPS than I was the speed. While I want this ship to be as fast as possible, it's more important to me that it packs as much punch as possible. Because the idea is to get in, maybe it's to get in, target a module, or just harass the crap out of the bigger ships. And that was kind of my goal with it. So if it didn't pack a punch, to me it was almost silly. Just go grab a fighter, or anything else for that matter. So again, we're just playing with it. Can I post Coriolis? This is the iEagle I'm working on. Sure, let me get you permitted there. And I believe, and again, since we just hit affiliate, we're playing with a lot of these settings, so I apologize if any of them act a little goofy, but if you are a subscriber, you can post links at any time. Let me click on you. Now this also acts goofy. I've noticed when I permit people, the first time it might give you a 1 second timeout, and we may have to do it a couple times. I don't know why it does that. And it says 30 seconds on one, 60 seconds on the other. Stream Elements is not moderating my links, so I don't even know why it's saying that. Too many things going on at once, I guess. That'll probably open in Chrome first. It will. Imperial Eagle, copy that. We'll come over here and paste it in. So that's 136 DPS. That's still respectable. It's only a little bit less than the one I'm using. The Krydo Scrambler. Yeah, I've heard about them. They're a faction module that I do not have unlocked. One railgun. What are you using here? Phasing sequence. Phasing sequence. Super penetrator. Interesting. A chaff. Smart choice. 1D hull reinforcement packages. Now see that when I build ships, and again, this is just my way of doing things. Not that there's that it is in any way any better than the way anybody else builds anything. I build for hull or I build for shield. I do not build for both. I don't know why. Maybe that's an old Eve thing coming over with me, but that's typically how I build. You have 77 millijoules of absolute shield and 985 absolute hull. You have a kinetic hull in your shield, which isn't a bad thing. And then you have explosives kind of low on your armor as compared to the rest of them. And again, I just try to balance things out kind of the best I can. I'm not a super, I'm not a super, oh my gosh, I've been out and I've fought millions of things and I know exactly how you need to build this. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just kind of us playing around. Mr. Replicator, how are you today, sir? I hope you're doing great. Another fantastic streamer that we have had join us. Really appreciate you stopping by. Always love to hear what you have to say. Survivability of a ship that big is on the speed to disengage when shields drop. You never take damage in that, but you will get 3 kilometers away in about 5 seconds on a boost. Yeah, and I agree that you got to make sure. Like I'm terrible about watching my shields and making sure I'm paying good attention. I'm doing great, Replicator. Thank you for asking. Like nothing you do in the iEagle will get you to really take damage if it gets focused. Yeah, and I agree. It's a small ship, and again, the idea with it is kind of just to play around. It was more of a personal experiment. Now with this one, I'm running 368, I believe that says, or is it 88? The joys of getting older. Millijoules of shield. All the resistances look pretty good on our shield. Our armor is terrible though. But the idea, kind of like you said, is to pay attention to your shields. If you start getting wrecked, get the hell out of there. That's the whole point. Let's see, you're at 549 with a 732 boost, and you can, where in the heck is it at? Up here somewhere. There is a boost time. Where the hell is it? I know it's here. Not hardness, not mass, not fuel, not passenger capacity. There's a reboost time. Which one is it now? No. Damn it, I know it's here. Somebody tell me. 6 seconds to the right of hardness. Oh, it's just off my screen. Why is it off my screen? It's not off. It is off my screen. If I widen this up, because I'm just capturing... Actually, let me do it this way. Did that still stay on the screen properly for you guys? It did. Good. Okay. 6 second boost time. That's not bad. What's the... It's 1,000. 135, 54, 20. $113, 45, 17. So you just a little more nimble. Now again, you probably got your enhanced thrusters on there as well. Yeah, you do, and I do not yet. I don't have those on there yet. I got to figure out how to fit that power, the power requirement on it. I think putting those on mine throws me about 8 over. Commander Leela, how are you today? Great to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't got to watch a lot either. I've been super busy, but I really appreciate you dropping by. That's amazing. The big problem is hit scan, a lack of module protections. Yes. Well, the big problem with my ships is that I'm flying them. That's the biggest problem all of my ships have. But we have fun trying to goof around nonetheless. So the flight ethos of that build is to use the Crota Scramblers to get shields to drop, then disengage to a distance and use the Super Pen rail to snipe modules. It won't compete with something bigger that has long range rails to reply with. Okay. And if your opponents know that you and your wing are running a few smalls, then they're sure to bring a quad rail. Oh, okay. I don't do a lot of fleet stuff. I don't PvP. Well, for one, I know I suck at it. But two, it's just not something we really get into too much on the stream. Not that I'm against it, and some of you guys are amazing at it, and it's cool to watch from time to time. But it's mostly, just again for kind of the sake of doing it, seeing what kind of silly stuff we can come up with. I don't do a ton of external research into this other than using Coriolis, my own brain, and if there's a particular engineering or something that I don't really understand, maybe we'll go check that out. And I've screwed up a few of those as well. It's just kind of what we do in here, messing around and chatting about it. So the idea behind mine, this is kind of what I had in my head. All right, I wanted to kind of sort of replicate. Replicator, did you hear that? Shouted out unintentionally. A fighter feel. I love flying the fighters. They're so damn much fun. They're so fast and so snappy. But I want it to have a lot of bite. I'm not overly worried about losing the ship. They have cheap rebuys. It's not that big of a deal. And I don't really PvP either. It's mostly against, NPCs, the easy stuff that us terrible pilots get to play against. But it was just for the fun of doing it and seeing, what we could do. And the idea is that we kind of shotgun it. We get in there, we use our rails as much as we can. We try to outmaneuver them, which again, the biggest problem with this ship is the pilot. You guys can, always, I'm sure a lot of you in here could outfly me any day in any ship. But the idea is to get in there and kind of pick at it, pick at them, be an annoyance, maybe even kill them, drain some shields, whatever the case may be, whatever you're trying to do, and just be able to have a lot of fun with it. And so you can go in, you can pick at that. And when you crank up that heat, because I think you can get 3 shots, maybe 4 shots off those 2 rails if you're lucky. And then you use this beam laser with thermal vent to get rid of that heat and to heat them up and shut them down. So you keep them busy while you keep plugging at those rails. And if you can't get away from them, or you've got somebody else on you, or you've picked on a wing bigger that you just can't handle, to get the hell out of there. Now this has a 400. This one has 400 speed and a 534. Boost, and the let's see, where was that at? This has 10 seconds, and this is power related, because right now we are running at 103%. And so what we want to try to do today is figure out how we can change this thruster. What did I put on there anyway? It was drag drives. Dirty with drag drives. Right. Mouse. Yep, dirty grade 3 with drag drives. And change that out for the enhanced performance. And just because it was already there, we're just going to put the same thing that was on it before. Now with that, speed-wise, we get 418, 554, still on a 10-second boost time. But you see, it's 110%. So we've just kind of blown the roof off the whole power supply idea. I flew, and thank you for the host, Replicator. I really appreciate that. I fly a few ships as part of Jack Little's LMPD wing, which are CITES, am I pronouncing that right? Eagles, Imperial Eagles, mostly gets involved in PvE, but occasionally some PvP. So my ships are designed around that rather than tournament play. Cool. Okay. Would definitely steer clear from the prismatics on a build like that, though. Huge weight, huge power draw, and once they're down, they're a very slow recharge. So when you're starting, MJs are already super low. It's not really a winning combination. My thought process, and I thank you for that input, I really do. My thought process behind using this, I wanted it to be able to get in and basically spar as much as it could and take as much damage as it could for a little bitty ship and still stay reasonably nimble and reasonably fast, so that when we get in there and we do take a beating, we can still get out of there in one piece. Oh, that's no problem. I can get you approved there. I know you well enough. I know you're not gonna be all silly. I'll get you a permit here. It's just a 1 second timeout, and I apologize for the spam on both bots there, and it can act really silly sometimes. Let's see what you got here. Another Imperial Eagle build. Copy that and I'll put that over here. So on this one, we have 524, 699. We have a 6 second boost again. This is using cannons and a plasma accelerator. Wow, you got to be a pretty good pilot here. Well, maybe not as much for the cannons, because I think they got a shot. I've never used them. I think they shotgun anyway, right? But that plasma accelerator, because of the projectile travel time, could be a little tricky. Hull reinforcements, module protection. You could use them bi-weaves, which is what I had on this before I had the prismatic. And hull reinforcement package. You're using the reactive. Very curious. That's kind of cool. Using a 3A enhanced performance. 2A power distributor, sensors, 1C fuel tank. Also using a chaff. You're using almost no power, and I presume that's based on the weaponry and not so much shield tanking, as we got the hull tanking, which is really nice. That's some really good numbers. I like that. Catch up on chat here for a second. I think that's the best I could think of for an Imperial Eagle. Well, it looks impressive so far, and we'll pick at it a little more. And again, you know, I'm not picking at these saying that they're bad by any means. I'm using what you guys tell me and learn. And I know, Commander Leela, you're an amazing pilot and a really good builder. And you actually helped me build my Corvette when we was over, I think, at Bavehawker's stream back when he was streaming. And you know he's been out, and I hope he gets better soon. I really miss the guy. But yeah, you helped me with that, and I really appreciate it. Cannons fire pretty much identical to the PA. You speed match them. You'd aim for the reticule for a full volley. Okay, cool. You can actually drop that down to a 2A power plant, again with armored and thermal spread. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, we're only at the 70. What are you, 76? You're at 131, 5220. This is a 135, 5420. And actually, if we drop that power plant down, it might even drop some weight too. 110, 44, 17. So far, both of yours guys' builds are more nimble than mine. And they're, let's see, 416, 554. 549, 730. That's freaking. That is when I say screaming eagle is in the top there. That's definitely screaming. That's super fast. That sounds fun. And 524, 699. What were you pulling out for your DPS? 40. Now I don't know. Does Coriolis calculate DPS properly on all weaponry, or can it be a little screwy when it comes to things like cannons? And because I don't know for sure. Again, it's only been a little while since I've been back to the game and rebuilding. And you can see the only reason you'd want that 3A is for the increased power plant integrity. All right. Well, I mean, and you guys that are more experienced with this, you can tell me. Whenever you're going out and you're fighting in something like this, now I bring some of my experience over from the Eve, my Eve days. I flew interceptors. That was my primary role in the corporation. I was the interceptor pilot, or one of them. I kept what I would call go bags for my implants and for my ships and my builds. They would be cans, and these are just storage containers that would contain everything I needed once I got my ship popped to get back in it and get back in the field. So when I think of small ships here, I think of the same thing. You're already taking a huge risk by being in a small ship in general, to my understanding. Now, you guys that PvP, again, you're going to have a much different approach and understanding of this than myself, because I'm not a big PvPer. I don't really PvP. So your insight's definitely helpful here, and especially for those that might consider both types of builds. My idea is, again, to make it fast and fun, or faster. I don't know what about super fast and fun, and really have some bite to it. So you can get in there, you're just like a little thorn. You get in there, you stick them a few times. If they switch to focus, you get the hell out of there. You let the rest of your wing take care of it, or you just get out there and try to outmaneuver them a bit and come back at them. So, you do want all the tanks you can get. You want all the shields you can get. You were mentioning, I think it was Bernardo was mentioning about the prismatics having a long recharge time. When I was building it, recharge time was not an issue for me. I was not considering recharge time. It was more about how long I can stay in the fight, not how long to get back into it, how long I can actually stay in it, to get as much tank as I could, to hold there as long as I could. Maybe I, screwed up my maneuver and I ended up in front of them or in a bad spot, or they're using some type of homing missile and I couldn't get around it or away from it, or I presume you can evade missiles in this game, homing missiles. But the idea, again, is to get in there with as much bite as possible, with as much staying power as possible. And when your shield is down or close to down, your whole job at this point is to get the hell out of there. Period. Jump if you need to, just to get out. And that was the point to the build I was making. Now, to your point, if you get something with quick recharge, it lets you kind of go in and out. You can go in, do your thing. If you start getting focused, start getting taken down, you can get out of their range, let that shield come back up, and then go back into their range. Which that's also, very valid, a very valid kind of thing to do. So it just kind of depends on why you're doing it. But I wanted to tell you a little bit of why I built that ship the way I did, and that's why I did it that way. I feel like high alpha damage is the way to go for a small ship. It lets you fly more evasively between volleys. I would agree, and it's kind of fun if you're a great pilot. Using something like rails, and even I have not used. I know what a plasma accelerator is. I've never used one. I know what the cannons are, though I've never really used them. We have a puppy with us now too. Let me switch over. I can actually see what's going on here. Let's see if he's even in here. And I haven't changed the aspect ratio of that. Yeah, that's Jackson. If you haven't met Jackson, he is our 140-pound Great Dane. He was a rescue, and he was our 50 follower goal, which I can take that off because it's actually wrong. I don't know why I didn't update right. We hit that yesterday during our puppy stream, and I thank all you awesome people for doing that. And our goal was for him to sit in my lap. So next Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time or thereabouts, it'll be a little after to give people time to show up. He's going to sit in my lap on that couch you see right there behind him. So I'm sure he'll absolutely love that. But that is what we'll be doing next Sunday, if you want to catch that. Back to what we were doing here. Look at this, 54.3 absolute plus 45 kinetic per burst. Yeah, and as far as resistances go, I don't know. Do most people run? What's? I would think that typically most people run a thermal hull in their shields, an explosive hull in their armor, just because that's the default hulls, and people may or may not specifically build for that. Or do you find that most people run specific hulls because other people, opponents of theirs, do not use that type of weaponry most commonly? I don't know. An interesting question that I don't really have the idea of what they do. Dumbfire missiles travel at 750 meters a second. Seekers are 625. So as long as you don't face tank them, you can dodge the Seekers. Dumbfires, if you are changing vector a lot, should be relatively low risk, but harder to outrun if you're straight lining. Okay. Usually the gap in resistances is thermal and shields, a more or less balanced hull. Okay. Serious PvP people generally will go relatively balanced with slight thermal drop in shields, with the exception to counter builds. All right. I kind of figured, and again, I'm bringing most of this information over from my EVE days, and not that I was any incredible PvP player in EVE either. I actually didn't even really enjoy it there. I only did it when the fleet really required it, or we were trying to guard an asset or help an ally. It just wasn't my thing. And ironically, that's how this channel got started. And that's why it's Bait Shop. Because I ran the Interceptor in EVE. I used the Interceptor to bait people through gates, or get them curious, or get them where we wanted them. Not that it always worked. And believe me, I lost a lot of damn Interceptors. But, EVE, it was a good game in its day. I don't so much enjoy it anymore. I don't play it anymore. But back to what we were doing here. So the question is, and I really like your guys' builds, and I really appreciate the input, and we may try one of those at one point. However, since we've already partially engineered this build, and I hate to change a lot of it up, and I'd like to try to kind of sort of keep along the build just for the sake of doing it, we need to get our power usage down if we even can. I tried playing with the priorities a bit to see if I could pull it off, and I can't in a way that makes any sense. It's just too much power draw. Now, we could get away from the prismatics. We could go back to the bioweaves. That might fix it in itself, but man, do we lose some tank when it comes to that. I mean, as you can see, the tank on that thing, 388 millijoules absolute, and our weakest is our thermal at 746. That's respectable, I think, for a little bitty eagle. Very respectable. Now the question is, I've got 544 milliseconds here now. The agility for it, and this probably has to do with weight, 110, 44, 17. Compared to Bernardo's and Leela's build, it doesn't compare. Theirs are more nimble. His Bernardo's is almost doing as much DPS as mine is. This shows a 40.4, and that could, like you were saying, it's probably just because of the volley time. I'm presuming that's why it shows. That's a per second. Then that could be misleading, I know. So you would. This is one of the ships for someone that doesn't have that much experience like myself. This is a ship you would just have to fly to understand, undoubtedly. And I have no doubt that Leela definitely understands how the ship builds, or how the ship flies, and I'm sure it's incredibly fun as well. Got 3,000. That's a respectable range as well on that cannon, but I would assume it's incredibly, the further you get, the harder it's going to be to hit with both of these, unless it's just maybe a dumb NPC or a really dumb pilot flying in straight lines. So the question is, how can we do that over here? And I'll post this for you guys that are just amazing at this stuff. And you could save this to yourself. You can play around with it. Whatever suits your fancy. Oh my gosh, I should have short linked that. My apologies for making that mess in chat. But it's already there now. We're going to leave it. I should have short linked that. If you'd like to open it up in Coriolis as well and kind of poke around at it, and maybe you can come up with a much better idea than I on how to solve it. I mean, we could, well, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the hell we do with it to get rid of that much power. I didn't put chafe on this. And while that is definitely the smarter routes for a good pilot, when you get casual guys like me that aren't very good pilots, and we have even difficulty multitasking at times, I always forget to use chaff, just like I forget to use shield boosters. Again, I play it more for just the fun of playing it. I don't really PvP much. I don't get into it too seriously, but I definitely appreciate you guys that do. But I just put a shield booster in there again, just to kind of up that staying power. You could technically do the same thing with chaff if you're good at it. Know when to put it out, when not. This is more for guys like me, or gals like me, that just really don't, you just want to get out there, have some fun, fiddle fart around with it. I'm very curious to build some of your guys's as well, though, because that speed, like that speed in itself, that 732 from your build, Fernando, I think would be really crazy fun to fly. I don't have access to these Kryto Scramblers. I've heard they were really good for shields, marginally better for shields than your lasers, and the railgun as well. And I am. How do these fire? How do these Kryto Scramblers fire? Are they hit scans? Are they projectiles? What are they? Are they like laser beams? I don't know. That would be very curious to know. I haven't seen anybody use them. And again, my time has been so messed up here lately that I haven't had time to do hardly anything. We haven't even played the game for a while. Significantly better shields than beams. They fire like very short-ranged fixed burst with a slight jitter. They're way better than stock. Okay, when I last heard about them, and I don't remember who it was I was watching that had them, they said that they were marginally better. So, I don't know. Again, I was just taking it for what I heard. And those... Which faction were those to unlock? I don't remember that either. Because we did... oh, what the hell was her name? It's, if you look at all the avatars of all the powers... I'll play the sound and you'll probably know exactly who I'm talking about. This is who you get the prismatics from.
I sound like a 14-year-old, but my boobs are huge.
I also have a tendency to call her Smurfette. we got in and did the prismatics just so I had them unlocked. They're more temperamental to keep in range. Shouldn't be a problem on a super nimble build. It would be a problem for a super bad pilot like myself, but I know that kind of goes against the whole idea of flying a thing in the first place. But I like really snappy ships. I know the payoff there is that they're very thin and they can die fairly easily. But that's just what I like to do. That's how I like to fly. So I don't know how much engineering do we actually get done? Because we ran out. I know we ran out of materials here the other day, and that was why we went out to try to collect some, and I know we probably don't have enough yet. And I'm currently locked out of Elite. I've got the little window swirly. There it goes. So we have, we run thermal vent on this. Again, it's to get rid of that heat from that those rails can generate. And it's a kind of a balancing game, and it really doesn't generate enough power to pull this off really well yet that I have seen. But the idea, again, is to get in. You can get in kind of close to kind of outmaneuver your opponents. Just pick on the big guys and kind of drive them nuts. Unload that heat from the rails. Also pick at their shields a little bit, but the primary function of that laser is just to get rid of heat. That's its primary role. And then we use our rails for our DPS. Thermal vent with long range. This is so we can get rid of that heat anywhere. If we need to go out or we're switching targets or something like that, we can unload that heat anywhere. And on our railgun, we have short range blaster. And again, this is to get in there, pull as much pew pew out of it as we can get, and just shotgun it. And just keep trying to outmaneuver them, keep our power up, because again, it's kind of the idea here is that to run these rails, they require so much power and so much heat. you have to run full pips in your engines, more or less. You can't really run your shields. So you need to stay in tight. You need to stay in close and outmaneuver their guns, stay under their guns, so to speak, to really kind of make this thing shine. And the shields are for getting you in and out of that, or when you find yourself in a crazy predicament, or you end up getting picked on by somebody else outside of your target, and be able to work with that. And the other railgun has the exact same thing. But we've only got rank 3 on these, and I'm pretty sure... I'm not going to throw us back over on that screen at the moment, but I did grade 5 on the Coriolis build. Again, we just kind of ran out of materials to do it with. All right, utility mounts. Again, here's that shield booster, and of course we're using this to more balance out the overall resistances of our shields. It's only a level 1 right now. So again, we ran out of materials. We did go farm a bunch of raw materials. Jackson, what in the world are you doing? He is leaning up against my chair at the moment. I think he's wanting back out of here. Core internals, just a regular lightweight. We do have our 3A power plant. This is only at grade 3 at the moment. Again, this is only the beginning of the representation from over in Coriolis. We hadn't got there yet. We wanted to see before we went much further if we could get those enhanced on there. So just kind of going over now what we've already got and what we've done. The thrusters are not going to matter because we'd, in theory, be replacing those. And this is another interesting thing with the FSD. Let's just head back over there. So with this build here that I have, it has a 30 light year jump range. The problem is it only has an 80 light year total on that little bitty tank. So you can get 2 jumps out of it, 2 full jumps out of it, and you have to completely refill your tank. And it has a 1A fuel scoop on it as an O-ship module. So, you know, again, I was trying to, again, play around with this build, see what all we could pull out of it, get, you know, the 150 DPS out of it, I thought was respectable regardless of what everything else had on it. But, so judging from what you're trying to do with this ship and the weapons loadout, I think I have a solution, but it's not an Imperial Eagle. And I looked at that too, and there are faster ships out there. What I couldn't seem to do, I couldn't seem to pull the same DPS with the same kind of tank and just the same roundedness to the ship as with the other small ships that I could with the Eagle. But I'm happy to just look at what you got. Absolutely, it's kind of what we're doing here. We're checking out the small ships and seeing what we can do with them. Let me get you a permit though. So, and it's just a 1-second timeout. It's not like a crazy thing anyway, thankfully. But if you'd like to post that, there you go. Oh, my coffee's getting cold. Yuck. Let's click that. My general recommendation with a build like that is not to worry about the jump range and get transported to where you want, or have a fit to combat swap. Yeah, and I would agree. I would totally agree with that statement. In Elite Dangerous, that would be the smart way to build a specific role ship. Again, we're kind of playing around with kind of what we can pull off with it. How far can we go? What can we do? How much DPS can we do? What kind of staying power can we get? And that's why I'm, again, I'm just kind of explaining why these things are on here. Take it with a grain of salt. It's not the greatest build. It was just a fun, let's play around with it. See what we can do. Let's pull this next link up. And that's no problem. I know I could have re-permit you as well. I probably should have gave you a heads up for that permit. Make sure we're on the right scene, because I got so many darn windows open. We are still on the right scene. So, a Diamondback Scout. Now this, again, we're back into kind of slow, 416, or slow-ish. We are running 120 DPS. 147 on the shield, 1180 on the tank. Kinetic and explosive are very respectable for that. It's very nice. We have a 7-second boost time, which is not bad. Not bad at all. We are 103%. That's not bad. That can be definitely prioritied out. Sorry if it feels like we're shredding. Oh, absolutely not. It doesn't. You know, this is what it's about. This is what this channel is about. This is what I try to do with all my stuff, whether it's Elite or anything else. We have conversations. As long as things stay constructive, which they have always been, you guys go fire away. Again, I'm not claiming that I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just slugging away at it as well. And getting your guys' insight also helps me, you know, refine what I'm doing. And it might, you know, you guys might see something I do and go, hey, that's kind of an interesting concept. Let's tweak it. See what we can do with it. So again, it's just it's a conversation. That's what we do. That's what we like doing. I have no problem with that at all. 88, 37, 13. Not so nimble. Pretty hard fall off there. Not very much range on it either. Yeah, I don't know that I'm a huge fan of this particular build. You know, again, that's me. Apparently you do have a much better recharge time on it, which is awesome. I think something must have been weird about that link because that's not at all what I sent. Okay. Well, here you tell me when you're ready and I will get you another permit and we'll take a look at that. And again, the way the channel's set up right now, we just hit affiliate yesterday thanks to all you amazing people, and it's only been a little over a month that we've been streaming, and you guys made all that possible. It is, I know it's a small step in the big scope of things, but for me it was a big one, and I really appreciate that. But at the moment, if you're a subscriber, you can post links whenever, as long as that's not abused. You know, I don't think it will be, not with our great community we have around here. So, back over here. Back to my window. So yeah, that was an interesting. We went out to engineer that ship, and when we did, it was so bad. We should have pulled off a utility slot, and so we had more fuel, so we could jump further before we had to refuel, because that was very painful. That was extremely painful doing that. And those that are here with me definitely know what I'm talking about. That life support, what's the weight on that? It's only half a ton, which I mean is still heavy for a little ship like that, but I was wondering how much lightweight would help it. Probably not much. Holy crap, Jackson. Which we didn't. Where is it at? There it is. He has decided, which I can't see that little thing. We're going to switch to full puppy here in a minute so I can reframe the picture. He likes laying like that with his legs up or pushing against that couch. I don't know why. He does the same thing in the living room. He's a crazy puppy. Crazy puppy. Come on, Edie. You can do it. Thank you. So the power distributor, again, we only have it ranked 2 at the moment. I mean, I think this is the way we're going to have to... We don't need strip down. We don't need it. We don't really need that. We honestly don't. We can change that. And that might buy some more power as well. What's on... That's a 3A on the Coriolis build. I'm just looking at the engineering on the Coriolis build for this real quick. Okay, well, on the Coriolis build that I have in there, I've got overcharged grade 5 and monstered, so that would be pretty much all we could pull out of that. Okay, ready. Okay, let me get over here and get you that. If I can find the right window. I have so many doggone windows open right now. There you go. And I still don't know, maybe if any of you use Stream Elements and something else. In Stream Elements, you can turn on or off what kind of things their bot moderates. And I do not have them moderating my permissions or links in any capacity, but yet they still post. So I don't know why that is. We're gonna fix that one day, along with everything else, I promise. Where do we want web chat? give that one a shot. Hopefully you can see the engineering this time. Definitely always recommend the 2A charge enhanced super conduits on combat fit. Higher capacity of weapons focus, not a worthy trade for reduced refill time. Yeah, and again, this is something I'm playing with, and you guys that are more experienced with it can definitely give me, the feedback that you've found to work better. So that's some good news. I'm glad to hear that. So what are we working with here? Again, the Diamondback Scout. 181 DPS. That is fantastic. 125, 53, 19. That's not bad. I'm just comparing that to our other builds here. 131, 52, 20. 135, 54, 20. 110, 44, 17. So it's better. It's more nimble than my current Eagle. Not quite as nimble as some of your other builds there. What are you using here? This is a railgun and beam laser build. 2 rails, 2 beams. Using efficient with thermal vent, plasma slug, and plasma slug. What is, I have not used plasma slug. What exactly? So it lowers our overall damage, but it also decreases thermal load. And by a huge amount. Holy cow, 56% thermal. Now would you find, now with me, this is a curious question. With me and my thought on something like a railgun is that if you're not the greatest pilot, much like myself, what you want to try to do in our own little terrible way is you want to land your hits. You want to land them. Anything else, even if it's just hitting the damn shield, you just want to land them. The more times you have to fire a weapon like that, the more you're probably going to miss. So the question is that in the trade-off, would it be better to have a weapon that hits harder and fires less often, also possibly giving you less chances to hit them? Or is it better to have something that fires more often with less damage, but also increases your odds of applying that damage? So maybe that's just a pilot-based question. Maybe that just totally depends on how good you are with them. Like, I would think, and please disagree with me if I'm incorrect, is that for someone like me that's not the greatest pilot, I think I'd prefer to have more punch in less shots. Only because I think it would be easier for me to line something up and unload it and wait for my terrible piloting skills to get me back on task and unload it again. Short range plasma slug is a secret combo that Yamato found to work really well this last year on his FDL. Okay. And when you say work really well, I guess you just kind of mean like the overall DPS to volley time, to applied damage, to, being able to stay mobile, and just a well-rounded, best bang for the buck sort of thing. Which is cool. It's something to definitely try, and I'm not against trying builds like this. The biggest problem with building things like this, and I don't know, I kind of, let me move back over here for a second. The thing that bugs me about people that like to build things in Elite Dangerous, and I say it bugs me, it's not necessarily a problem, it's just something that I'm trying to figure out, how could it be better? If you're going to make a suggestion on how to improve it, how to improve it, how would you make it better? And that is that engineering, while not terribly difficult to unlock, getting the materials sometimes can be an absolute nightmare. Specifically, ship scan data. I have read, especially since you're already shooting 2 rails instead of 4, the FTL actually has a smaller fuel tank than the DBS. So theoretically, you'd have more ammo. Okay. I remember when I was reading on the engineers and how to get a lot of that information, one of the top recommended things to do to get data is to go to a famine system, find the distribution center, and scan the crap out of all the ships going in and out. Now, I have not looked today, but ever since I have read that, which has been several months ago now, I have yet to see a famine system in the game. I mean, it's in there because it's a filter, but I've never seen a system in that state. And I don't know if that requires some big political thing to happen or something in the background system to happen, but I've not seen them. And I have not done that kind of data farming yet because I haven't been able to find them to go figure out how in the hell to do it. And that camera is really low as well. I don't think I can fix it at this particular moment, but that's something I'm definitely going to have to do, is adjust that. It seems like it's getting lower. They borked the BGS from providing famine systems in December update. Well, that explains a lot of it then and why we can't find them. Because I've looked and looked. And then, instead of doing that, I would just try to find a big station that had a lot of ships in it. And while you can do that, it's very spread out. You need to be in a fast, nimble ship if you want to do it in any kind of decent time frame. And then it's sort of terrible. I think the best results I have gotten thus far are convoy sites. Particularly in like boom systems or something like that, where there's going to be a lot of sites. To reap the best rewards on time spent for doing it. Stuff like that, Jameson crash scans and modified embedded firmware mission rewards is how I get all my data, then trade across. I find getting it almost all from the ladder lately. I've been fine getting it almost all from the ladder lately. Yeah, we went out to, whatever system that is, like 1,500 light years away from the bubble. Farmed up all those rare mats. Yeah. So we could trade down. So we didn't have to land on a bunch of planets and try to farm up a bunch of materials. So we went out there, we filled that up. We spent, I think, a stream and a half farming up the mats and bullshitting, which is a lot of what we do here. We don't get too serious about anything here. This channel, and I hope to keep it this way, it's supposed to be pretty chill. It's not super hyped. It's not super crazy. And form a great community around it, and especially, in the form of the elite community and how it works. The same idea. The elite community, with the exception of a select few, and there's always a few, is such a fantastic community. And it's such a fun game. If you like, you have to like sci-fi, you have to like the streamer, or you have to like the community to watch this game. Because nobody that doesn't like either one of those three things is going to sit very long in an elite stream. And we see it a lot. They'll pop in and pop out, which is cool. It may be exposing to it. But I've always been a fan of the space stuff. And that light, I need to change that as well. I can't hardly see my chat because that light is so damn bright. I've got so many things to fix. I'm so bad. I am so bad. But I promise you it's going to get better, and I thank you all very much for hanging out with me and making it all possible. Without you guys, there is no stream to happen. So, again, it's amazing the kind of support I've gotten from everyone. I really do enjoy having you guys around. Back to what we were doing here. And that happens a lot around here. General conversation. I hope it doesn't frustrate you too much that we jump around so much. And if it does, let me know. Speaking of all that, suggestions, I had a suggestion box down below. And I was constantly telling people, if you have a suggestion, drop it down there. You have a suggestion, drop it down. I never seen any. I just figured people, just didn't really care to do so. And then KT tried it out yesterday and said it kept telling him that it was denied. Denied. He tried it several ways and it just didn't work. I finally shut it off because we couldn't even get the thing to work. So, you can hit me up on Discord. I do have a permanent Discord link now. It's still work in progress. But if you want to hop over there and hang out or whatever, if you're a community streamer, if you stream and I know you in some way, shape, or form, I will add you to our community streamers. And in theory, again, it's beta. It will definitely eventually. Whenever you go live, it'll shout you out there on the channel as well. Let everybody know you're going live. So you're happy to hop over there and hang out or whatever. I know everybody has a Discord anymore, and I have so many channels on my own. You're like, oh my gosh, when does it stop? So no obligation there. Totally up to you if you would like to do that. But we bounce around a lot of conversations here. If you have something that you say, this is a little too chaotic, it's a little too crazy, it's a little too loud, too quiet, too big, I don't like this, I like that. All constructive criticisms are welcome. I encourage it. It's what makes this better for all of us. So you can hit me up on Discord. I don't know if I have stuff turned on Twitch to be able to allow people to message me. They're not on my friends list. I think I did. I don't think I'll get abused as far as people sending me junk. Yeah, the PvP community alone spans dozens of Discords. Oh, I bet. Because if you plan on getting out there and winging up with people, you got to be able to bounce around pretty quick. So, at least I imagine that's how it is. Again, I never really got into PvP in Elite. It's just not something we typically do in this channel. Not that it's not great and exciting and good fun, and there's not a damn thing wrong with it. It's just not really what we do here. Who knows? You never know what'll happen. You never know. So back to, am I on the right? Yeah, I am on the right screen. We don't have we don't have on this screen though is a puppy cam. We got to have the puppy cams. I'm gonna have to fix that as well. I have so much stuff to fix. So much stuff. So we have chaff again, which I'm terrible about using, and shield boosters. 157 millijoules, with the weakest being 300 kinetic. Some really crazy hull tanking going on. And why is it that you go with the hull tank over a shield tank? Is it the weight? Is it just easier to tank it that way? Because, when Bernardo was talking about not necessarily, might not consider the prismatics because of the recharge time. Hull has 0 recharge time. You can't recharge it. So, to me, that would be even worse than prismatics. CTM alone has a main Discord, a whole meme Discord, and a whole Discord for NSFW. And I don't know. I don't know how they're set up. And I just think about, why would someone want that many Discords, considering, as far as I understand, there is no person limit on how many you can have in Discord. Why do that to yourself? But they have reasons, I'm sure. Hull module bi-weaves. See, the thermal resistant, whenever I did my build on the shields, you'll notice here in Coriolis I did thermal resist. But I am almost positive, for whatever dumb reason, over in the game, I did not. For some reason or another, why did I go there? For some reason or another, I flipped them around. I put reinforced on my shield generator and then thermal on my shield booster. Again, there's no telling. I was probably streaming and just not paying attention what the hell I was doing. I'm still here, bud, by the way, just hanging out and lurking. Work is hectic today. It's no problem. The lurk is appreciated. I really appreciate you hanging out, Mr. Clever. And for those of you that might have hopped in afterwards, if you have not checked out Mr. Clever's stream, if you like variety streams, jump scares, and he does a little battle royale. It's a great guy. Go check him out. Go check him out. Highly recommend him. Throw him a follow if you enjoy the things that he does. I know I do. And he's been a huge help for me in this stream as well. Really big help. Bounced lots of things off of him, and he's given me some great feedback. Some ships are better for shields versus hull tank. I would shield tank an Imperial Courier because it gets great shields in a very low spec. But even then, the advantage of it creates space to still have notably robust hull underneath that. Flaky hull means you're dead as soon as your shields drop. No matter how big your shields are, or phasing will get you before your shield goes. Yeah, and that's something, I don't think I really considered too much when I was building this ship. You can get that whole corrosive or whatever mod on guns, right? Where it goes through shields. I should know the Thargoids do that in general, but it's not a Thargoid killing ship. But you can get the mods that go through shields, so if you didn't really put any hull on it. But with FDev nerfing everybody's canopies, that makes hull tanking that much more difficult as well. I know I've lost the canopy in that Eagle more times than I care to admit. Some ships are better for Oh, I already read that. Phasing sequence experimental on burst and pulse laser and plasma accelerators. Okay. So that's phasing sequence. All right. Good to know. Now, again, since I primarily, when I do combat, it's NPC stuff. I don't have huge concerns there unless, again, I'm specifically fighting Thargoids, which I don't know. I think we all may be fighting Guardians very soon. My own personal conspiracy theory there. But the hull tank on that Eagle I built is not a zilch zip. So if I got hit with those kind of weapons, it's game over for me. You know, I'm out. Peace, I'm out. Phasing along with not having hull underneath is how nomads manage to kill a Corvette in under 20 seconds. Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. And it's not something I really considered. Again, since I don't PvP much, these kind of things are interesting to know and to hear about. Because now that I think about it, that would be a really smart choice as a PvPer. Because when you get more inexperienced, when you're up against more inexperienced players, beyond just outflying them, is the technical knowledge of how they more than likely built that ship, or through a quick module, browsing through the modules real quick. The guy was running all shield reinforcement packages and lightweight hull, so he had maybe 900 hull total, maybe. Wow. Nothing when you're slamming it with a full wing of pacing, right? Yeah, I'm presuming he learned his lesson and not like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? So that's a very interesting take on that. So really, if you're PvPing specifically, you can't go hullless unless you plan to replace your ships. And in some people, that's not a big deal. I don't really care if I have to replace my ships. I got plenty of money to do it. It's just the PvP in general I'm not a monster fan of, but it makes your weapons a bit weaker, but it guarantees hull damage, so it's a good counter build choice. And increasingly, people are focused on huge shields with a limited hull at mid to low level PvP. Yeah, and that kind of falls to my point about if you get kind of up against some more inexperienced players or people that are just coming up through the ranks, you probably kind of know how to kind of approach it so that you ruin their day, so to speak. At high-end PvP, people are unfortunately going for hybrid builds. So huge shields, no banks, and whatever hull you can get after that. Now see, that would probably sound more like a build I would go for, because when it comes to using things like chaff and shield boosters, stuff that requires me to multitask a great amount, I have enough trouble managing my pips, which I also do terribly. Adding all that other stuff only adds complexity to what little piloting I can do. Lower overall health than bank tanking, but less vulnerable to cascade. Yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense. Totally get that. So I think we've deduced that this build is not a viable PvP, which, again, I wasn't really building it for that anyway, but it's awesome to hear you guys' feedback on how you might handle it if you wanted to take a build like this and turn it into something more PvP oriented. And we've had a few suggested, builds and tweaks for doing something like that. And definitely at the moment, both of these builds are probably more productive in general than mine is at the moment, and a little more nimble. It just depends on kind of what you want to play with and what you want to fly. That Diamondback Scout, again, I was doing the rail thing. That's what I wanted to do with that, was the rails. Here we're running 2 rails and 2 beam lasers off of Leela's build. And, this could be really cool. This could be cool to try. I mean, it's packing 181 DPS, which is really remarkably good. And it has a lot of hull tank. So the question would be, if you got into a fight, NPC or PvP, in this particular ship, I mean, your shields are going to get wiped out not too badly. It's 300 millijoules on kinetic, Odds are they're going to hit you with thermal. That's the best odds. So 433 on that. That's not bad. I wonder kind of what the staying power is on that shield. I mean, it's got a 43-second recharge time and recovery at 2 pips. So if you wanted, you know, if you just wanted to try to kind of outfly them, I thought that would change the recharge time on that. I guess it won't. Or not here anyway. So if you're running full shields, you got 101. Not full, they're full weapons. 127. 1 pip in systems. So even at 3 we bio-weaves. It's kind of a long one. You're using low draw on that. Smart move. Have you set up macros for your pips? I need to. I need to. I have not. I do use voice attack, so it would be that much easier. Though voice attack has a difficulty understanding me. I haven't done a ton of voice training with it, but I do need to do that. It definitely would be helpful for switching those around. You'd be surprised. Let's see. Pip management. I used to be really bad at pip management, but the macros definitely helped. And I'm okay with managing them manually. But yes, I can only imagine how macros would be that much better. You would be surprised, my old 2-booster FTL could take on Corvettes, and it only had 532 millijoules. So I presume that was mostly... I gotta admit, I've never purchased an FTL, and I've never built an FTL. And the reason I haven't is really stupid. The reason I have not is because it's the go-to ship. That's why I don't. I don't have a lot of interest in it because I feel like that ship has been, you know, built and used so much. There's not a lot more to discover or really about the ship. Well, I know it's very good at what it does. Very good. I wish they'd fix the Mamba to be a better competitor in general. Because that's a really cool looking ship, which I don't own currently. Proper pip management does wonders for keeping your shields up. Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. Something that's very important in the game in general. Totally agree. So, I don't know. I don't really know how in the hell, without me just sitting here and beating my head on it for a while, how we're going to get those thrusters to work on this ship. And this one's at 590, which is still faster than my Eagle. It doesn't have, it's not as nimble though, which is a downside. Because again, how was it as nimble? 110, it was nimble. It was more nimble, as a matter of fact, a little bit. So I take that back. The idea again is to kind of sort of recreate that fighter feel. Get in, punch them in the gut, have some staying power, unload some of that heat onto them, try to shut them down. If you get focused or you can't get out from under their guns, get the hell out of there, leave, come back, what have you. Very cool builds, English, I do speak it, believe it or not. So we'll definitely have to be looking at that and see what we're going to do there. We are at 1 hour and 33 minutes, and I usually don't take a break until about 2 hours. But if I don't use the restroom, I'm going to be sitting in a puddle, and I don't want to do that. And I do need to heat up my coffee as well. Imperial Eagles are better straight line speeds than agility. Core dynamic engines sacrifice the straight line speed for huge boost to agility. Definitely my favorite. And maybe that's kind of the way I need to look at it. Again, I was trying to kind of sort of replicate that fighter feel. I love really snappy ships. Just flying them in general. And what little knowledge I have on building and playing around with a few of the different smaller ships, this ship is what I found to be the best for what I was wanting to do, which is mostly built around those rails. At that time when I built this, I didn't know where in the hell you got enhanced thrusters at. Now that I know, I have them, and it's completely pretty much thrown my build in for a loop. So, and that's why, you know, again, we're here today kind of discussing all this. If that's what you want, I would recommend the Eagle or a Sidewinder to maximize that feeling. And that's a curious choice because I don't know if I built the Eagle or not. I had the Imperial Eagle already. I think that's why I went ahead and chose it. I've never really tried the Sidewinder to see. Like, what is the... let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Ships. Sidewinder. Now it comes with 2 smalls. It does have 2 utility slots. Its baseline profile is awful, of course. That's why I think the DBS would be the one for you. On paper, it's not quite as nimble. But if you have to consider the ship's weight almost 5 times as much as the Imperial Eagle and is about as maneuverable, while packing serious firepower for its size and great survivability. And that is an excellent point. An excellent point. And still at that, it was 125, 53, 19, 110, 44, 17. It's even more nimble than my current build. And it has, I'm running 149. You're running 181. It has a much larger fuel tank. Of course, you're not looking for jump range at all in this. I did somewhat consider it in this one. And I don't know, I mean, I guess you could kind of think about it like if I was going to be in a light ship and out doing fighting or whatever, and I need to bail out of there, I can out jump them. I don't have to worry about them catching up with me. Can I get a permit for the... Well, sure. You sure can. Let me find the window. There you go. Oh, the Sidewinder. Okay. So this is a 745 speed, 42 DPS with burst lasers. Well, I gotta say, as far as recreating a fighter feel, that's probably, I don't know what the actual DPS of the fighters are, but that's probably not too far from it. 10 light year jump range, 35 total, so we're not really going to be doing much in the way of flying around. This has a point defense to keep the missiles off you, which is nice. A chaff launcher if you're a decent pilot. Keep your butt from getting smacked. Enhanced performance. Dirty drives grade 5, so again we're back in the speed. Plenty of power. 151, 58, 22. That's nice. That's a very nimble ship. But that, you know, that DPS to me for what I'm trying to build is totally unacceptable for what I'm trying to accomplish. You know, survivability is no good if you can't apply much damage. And damage is no good if you can't survive it. You know, dead ships don't apply damage. It's just that simple. But when you're in something this small, if you're getting your face smacked, you're probably going to get blown up anyway, or you're going to have to fly so evasively you're not going to be applying much DPS. So that's why I was kind of looking for that balance between applying as much DPS as I could with getting as much tank as I could. And that Diamondback Scout is very impressive. I really, yeah, that is something to definitely look at. You know, it is a little slower than the other ones. It isn't quite as nimble as the other ones. But, you know, like Leo was saying, you also get the extras out of it as well. You can increase that jump range to 35 without sacrificing too much on speed, 4 milliseconds, and still remaining on your power budget. Yeah, okay, yeah. Cool. I would drop the point defense for a single chaff if you're not against NPCs. I hate NPC. Well, I hate NPC jousting. Got fixed weapons, cool. Because they also chaff to crap. These are all fixed. Awesome. That was another thing I didn't really look at. Is see if everything was fixed. Because, again, the idea in this is to get in point, crank on them, be annoying as hell, get out when you have to. Even then, I would go dual ECM over dual point defense. Harder to use, but more effective when you learn. All right. Yeah, the in the Diamondback Scout, again, for a pilot like myself, this whole utility slot is almost wasted on my incompetence. Like almost everything in there. Because odds are I'm going to miss my shield booster opportunity, and odds are I won't miss the chafe, but I'll definitely hit it too late and it won't count for crap anyway. Now there is 2, so there is that. So I might actually, that might be a butt saver from time to time. But the boosters, and again, that's pilot error. That has nothing to do with the build. I'm sure it's excellent build. What we are going to do for the moment, I'm going to step away. I'm going to heat up my coffee. I've got to use the restroom. This wonderful conversation with you guys has been very engaging. I really appreciate it, and I really am going to wet myself if I don't get over there and use the restroom. Boosters are passive. The shield... Oh, that's right. Duh. Okay. Yeah, see, my noob showing. My noob's hanging out. Hang on, let me fix that. It's the shield banks that give you the trigger norm. Yes. And I apologize. And thank you for straightening me out on that. But we are going to step away for just a second so I can use the restroom. So give me just a few minutes here. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting with me. It is what I love most about doing these streams. So with that, we will be right back. And we're back. And that, I should have taken a look at that when I was off. If I squat down in my chair. I don't know. Whenever I do my dog shoots on Sundays, I use that camera. So I'm always taking on and off the stand every week. And I've somehow managed to tilt it down. Let me see if I can quick fix it. Because it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. That's better. Where is my buttons? Oh yeah, that's much better. Because before it was like cutting off the top of my head or something crazy. Much better. I need to remove the follower goal thing. It's jacked up anyway. Okay, so we left off with Leela telling us that to stop being a noob, that boosters are passive. And yes, we should have known that. Coffee. Not a coffee snob. That's just like Folgers. Actually, I don't even think that's Colombian, which is unfortunate. But it's still good stuff. I'll take it. So the question is, what are we going to do? I mean, maybe we should just try throwing another Roland chassis, one of these together. That these guys have so kindly linked us. And just play with it and see what happens. All reinforcements. Just trying to see what's all on here. Like, there's no faction stuff on that build. I guess I could kind of show you guys what in the world I'm even looking at. So you're like, what the hell are you talking about? This Eagle. Just trying to decide which one we should kind of try. Sure, at 1762. Got Byweaves, Halls. Out of integrity. Man, I just don't know how I feel about cannons and plasma accelerators. I've never used either one. I don't have the rep to get those Kryto scramblers. So we definitely won't be doing that one, at least for now. But what I am going to do is, let's see, how can I name this? Let's name this Bernardo Saito Eagle, because I don't remember if that saved that under class or not. We're going to save that there. And this, I believe, was Alila's build. So this is the Cannon Eagle. L-I-E-I. I believe that's how you spell it. Or is it L-L-A? Leela Cannon Eagle. I'm going to save that. Then I have these. L-I-E-L-A. Leela. Rail. DBS. Save that one. The Sidewinder, I'm not... I mean, unless I'm just missing something. When you built this, were you thinking more just about maneuverability, I presume? It's kind of, you know, the feel, the snappiness of the fighters. It's probably about as close as you could get to that. Good coffee. Because I'm assuming that's what you were going for there. You have the FMU to replace that armor as well. Sidewinders have amazing vectoring and cruise speed, so you can sit them in the blind spot. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you were building here, was something that really just kind of felt more like the fighter, flying fighter. And we're gonna try. Let's do B-A-R-N-A-D-R-D-O. Bernardo. Yeah, I had that right. I'm sorry if I've been butchering that all along. And this is I'm just gonna name it that. I'll try to name it something so that I can remember what we were doing when we put it together. I don't know, maybe we'll try out this. I don't know, what does this look like without the engineering? I'm wondering if everything will still fit okay. Just for the sake of testing a rolling chassis. Let's see what it looks like without any engineering on it. And I know it will do nothing compared to what it will with it off, or with it engineered. But again, it's kind of the same way I tested the Eagle. I just put it together, went out there, I played with it. Is this something I would enjoy before I dump a bunch of mats into it? Yes or no? If so, then we'll go do more with it. So we'll look. Strip all the engineering off. And there's a lot of it. Which if you are in the channel and you do not do much engineering, I do highly recommend ED Engineer. It is a third-party program that runs on your desktop, but it can help you keep track of materials and stuff that I almost feel should be in-game, mostly. Not quite the way they do it, but a better way for it. And like I was saying earlier, and I don't know if I finished that conversation, and I apologize if I didn't, but the one of my complaints about this game for people that like to mess around with builds and stuff is that, I mean, the unlocking the engineers is somewhat difficult. It's not overly difficult. It can be done. It does take some investment. No problem with that. Some of these materials, though, are just ridiculous to come up with. Outside of doing silly stuff like going to a site, and I say silly stuff, I mean it's silly in the sense that the game mechanic even works this way and there's not a better system implemented. You got to find a site. You don't have to, but you want to optimize your time. You go to a site, you farm it, you relog. You go to a site, you farm it, you relog. I mean, yes, that is the most effective way, and yes, that is the way most of us do it, and yes, that's okay with FDev. That's why they did it the way they did it. But it definitely is a mechanic that needs replaced with something that's more, I don't know, something that's just overall better, that feels better, maybe even not so damn hard to do in some cases. Or it's one of those things that once you learn to do it, you can be good. You know, like going to the Guardian sites or something like that. Once you've been to the site and you've kind of dealt with it, it becomes a lot easier once you understand it. Looks like it just barely fits under power budget with cargo hatch turned off. Okay. And thank you for that. I know I'm being slow about it. Multitasking is not necessarily my strong suit, obviously. Oh yeah, 103. So yeah, it looks good. Again, I don't know the chaff launchers. I just know I'd screw that up. It's at 119 DPS, which is still pretty good. It's about the speed. It's a little bit slower than the engineered Eagle, which is fine. 151, 58, 22. It's still more nimble than this Eagle is. The way the Eagle is built. Was I on the right tab when I did that? I was not on the right tab when I did that. So let's try that. Actually, let's just close these for a minute. So if I don't, I'm going to screw all of it up anyway. So, okay. 89, 38, 13. 110, 44, 17. So it's not terribly less nimble. With this, I guess the feel would be more to get out there and see how these beams and rails work together. How well we're going to be able to work it, keeping in mind that the engineering will change it quite a bit. At default pips, let's just say we're in here fighting, and let's do it this way. Just for the sake of argument. What if we're not using... Go back over here and turn off these beams for a second. So it's 8 seconds on a 1 second cycle on 2 guns. So that's 4 shots before we deplete our weapons. The recharge time. And I gotta figure out where the hell all these numbers are again. Where's the recharge time at on our power? Again, just kind of theory crafting here. What? Sorry, I have apparently a train going by today. I'm like in the center of weird noises between the dryer and the trains, and I'm on a dead end street, so I don't understand why it's like that a lot. That's all weapons firing. We don't care about that. Mass unladen info. Hardness. Boost time. That's our shield recharge. So you have to go in, you fire 4 shots, then you're gonna have to switch everything. Well, no you won't if you leave it in weapons. Because I'm curious how many volleys you can get out and then how long it's going to take you to recharge to fire 4 more volleys. Now, given that's not probably how most of us shoot, it's in there, shoot what you can and then shoot as you can. Just trying to get an idea of what that might look like before we actually did it. So this is against another one. Let's make this uglier stock anaconda. So in 8 seconds, so you can, in theory, in this ship with this build, unengineered, you can remove a NPC anacondas. I say NPC, they're not completely stock, but I think this would still be very close. You can remove an anaconda shield in 4 volleys. So if you went in, 4 pips to weapons, shot 4 times, you would have their shields gone. But now you'd be stuck with no power and them in hull. So you have to wait for that to recharge. And it would take you a long ass time to get through their armor. No, that's the DPS against it. So not too bad. 11 seconds. So that's 2 more recharges to do that. That's not bad. I mean, that could be interesting. It'll depend a little on the how it handles for the recharge. And again, that's without using the beams at all. And for no more heat than I think those rails generate, from my experience when I was flying that Eagle, we may not need those beams really at all. We'll just have to see kind of how it works, because I'm wondering if you might just switch them out for multi-cannons or something. Or even missiles. Just to eat that armor. If you can get that armor down to 8 seconds, then in theory, in 2 volleys, you could kill a stock anaconda with it. Interesting. It's definitely a possibility. The DBS is the coolest running ship in the game. Oh, is it now? Resting heat's 30%. Unengineered. I guess we could go over here and pull the engineered version up next to it. Ships. Nope. Builds. Why? I don't have builds. It's not clicking. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna probably have to go back and save all those again. I don't know why it would do that. Is there a way to get them from here? There's only the export, reset, reload, and save. I did save them, but it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, it just took a minute. And that was right here, the DPS. This is the engineered one. So you get 30%. 181. I'm trying to remember what the DPS was on my Phantom. I know it's a bigger ship. I'm just comparing apples to oranges for a minute to see kind of how it falls into line with everything else. But yeah, I think if for now we just completely eliminated those lasers. Can we turn this back on? Yeah, we can turn the hatch back on even without those. Rebuy cost on that is $352,000. That's ridiculously cheap. 4A thrusters. Now the enhanced thrusters only come in 2A and 3A, correct? Probably for good reason. Maybe the ship in general is why they do not. So we may go over to Jameson, probably. I know there's cheaper places to do it, but since they got it all and we're not hurting for money, we may go over there and build this real quick. Just to kind of check it out. See how it works. Yeah, but even on a 4A, it's considered a very fast combat ship. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 421 meters a second, which is not bad. Not bad at all. So let's head back over to ED here. Let's get in something a little... Actually, I'll probably just take the Phantom over there. It'll be a little bit expensive to ship back. Getting my controls back. I actually checked my driver updates today on my X52 to see if that is why we're having a problem with this doing that sometimes, of it locking my controls out. There are no updates for that driver, so I don't know. Not quite fast enough to outrun missiles outright, but fast enough to negate most of Packhound volleys. Okay. So let's get back out of here. Let's go back to our shipyard. What the hell do we even have in here? That's 20, 22. I'll probably just take the Phantom over there. Why not? This is this is my go-to ship. I do most stuff in this ship. The only thing I don't do in it is mining, obviously. And cargo runs, because it doesn't have much cargo space on it. And luckily enough, they sell that whole Oh, do they? Well, then I don't even have to go anywhere. I didn't know they did that. I mean, I didn't check either. I just, again, took for granted to go over to Jameson and check it out. Well, what the hell then? Let's just do it here. So we want the shipyard. There's the scout. Store current ship.
Diamondback scout purchase.
Man, I don't know that I'm a big fan of that hull design though. I don't know. Is he still in the picture there? It looks like it. Down to outfitting. And let's see, we were going to do, let me go back to what you had over here. We're just going to do the 2B rails for now, which are right here.
You have purchased a 2B fixed railgun for 321,984
Two of those
credits
on here.
and sold a 1F fixed pulse laser.
I could do without the, that should be an option to sit and watch these animations, honestly. I mean, it's cool the first few times you see it, but after that, you're kind of over it and ready to do something else.
You have purchased a 2B fixed railgun for 321,984 credits and sold a 1F fixed pulse laser for 2,145 credits.
I'm just going to leave those empty for now. And here we have our shield boosters. Here I had two of them, right? Yep, two of them. I don't know why I have the engineering version. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's the same damn equipment. Just different engineering.
You have purchased a Zero shield booster for 273,975 credits.
Well, fingers. Get them working. I thought I just bought it. Apparently I didn't hit the back button. And the chaff, I'm telling you, you're going to laugh because I won't use them. I definitely won't use them properly.
You have purchased a zero
You can
chat
bank
launcher
on
for
that.
1,288 credits.
Browse chaff.
You have purchased a zero chat launcher for 8,288 credits.
And onto our core. You staying with lightweight? Nope, you want reactive with that. Right? Yes.
You have purchased a 1i reactive surface composite for 129,6870 credits, and sold a 1i lightweight alloy for 0 credits.
For a power plant.
You have purchased a 4 power plant for 140,520
For a
credits,
thrusters.
and sold a 40 power plant for 17,348 credits. You have
Oh, I
purchased
didn't
a
mean to
4
store that.
thrusters for
I'll have to
156,982
sell that in a
credits,
minute.
and stored a 40 thrusters.
Then with the 4D frame shift drive, I mean, apparently to lighten it up. Which it's not going to be meant to go for anyway. My only concern with it, I guess you could just refit it for it, is taking it out and getting it engineered. That can be a bit of a pain.
Purchased a 4D frame shift drive for 58,143 credits, and sold a 40 frame shift drive for 19,381 credits. You have purchased a 2D life support for 3,529 credits, and sold a 2E life support for
3A with that, right?
1,411 credits.
Do we need to? Yeah. Well, we did with the lasers on it. Right? No. Yes, maybe. Engineered, you did not. You could downgrade that technically. Non-engineered. Yeah. Okay. We'll just use it.
You have purchased a 3 power distributor for 154,300.
The Diamondbacks aren't designed to be pretty, but they're definitely functional. Yeah, it would seem so. And some people like their design. I'm not one of those guys, but I just went lightweight with the sensor. Does it make sense?
You have purchased the 2D sensors for 3,529 credits, and sold the 2E sensors for 1,411 credits.
I needed to find and sell that D's that I accidentally stored.
You have sold the 4E thrusters from your stores for 19,381 credits.
So I went through all that. Optional now. So you went bi-weave on that. Those are 5 tons. How much do the the prismatics weigh? But I mean, you do. I mean, we're already at not so hot of recharge time anyway. Well, 4 pips at 40 seconds. That's not too terrible. That's respectable. But we'll go ahead and use those. Maybe. If I can find them. Shield generator. There it was. Alphabetical order is hard. They don't have 3A bi-weaves. Oh, you use the 3C. They don't have a 3A, do they? Not in the bi-weaves.
You have purchased the 3C bi-weave shield generator for 82,537 credits,
And then
sold
you
the
went
shield generator for 6,100
all hull and module reinforcement. And they are under... I'm totally overlooking it. I know I am past module reinforcement. Well, actually, we went hull first. If I were just to build it the same way you have yours built here. 3D hull reinforcement package.
You have purchased a 3D hull reinforcement package for 81,900 credits.
No, not a E. Back. I wanted the D. Buying options. What the hell is going on here? I'm on a different screen than I thought I was. That's what's going on here.
You have purchased a 3D hull reinforcement package for 81,900 credits.
And then what do we do? 2D module reinforcement and 1D hull reinforcement.
You have purchased the 1D module reinforcement package for 14,625 credits.
Oh, we don't want super cruise assist? Giggity giggity. Was it? 1D hull reinforcement package, not module. In that slot, unless I've completely... No, I don't think I swapped those. Exchange. You accidentally threw a 1D module reinforcement in the size 2 slot. Okay, that's what I did. I thought I felt like I did something wrong there. And we wanted the module, a 2D module reinforcement in there.
You have purchased a 2D module.
Now, do we have this right now? We do have this right now.
And sold a 1D module reinforcement package for 14,625 credits. You have purchased the 1D hull reinforcement package for 14,625 credits, and sold a 1E advanced docking computer for
Battery approach,
13,169 credits.
Whatever. And that's pretty much gets us where we needed to be. I know we don't have anything for this ship, because I've never bought it before. Call me a bit vain. Man, that is an ugly ship. That is an ugly, ugly, ugly ship. We can, of course, do our... Let me find out which slots it is. Is it 4 and 5 or 5 and 6? I think it's 4 and 5. I'm using a mouse for this, so... No, it's 5 and 6. So one thing we do on our ships, if you've not really been around before, is because it's a bait shop channel, and primarily thing we do around here is bullshit. We get that. We get a dashboard of BS. All right, well, let's see if I can go. So we just need the rails there. If you bind chaff to the same button, does it only launch one at a time, or does it launch both? Like, there's nothing else on here besides maybe Discovery Scanner, and that's only if I plan to go anywhere. Actually, I'll just take it off there for now. So, because again, I don't really use Pop's Place, and I haven't heard an alert or anything for that. That's interesting. I don't know why we did not get a emote for that. Let me see if I can find out why that is. Because it's here. Stream Elements. Let me relaunch it. Stream Elements is not... Doesn't seem like it's updating properly. Actually, I thought it was closed before. So again, you know, we're working through technical difficulties with the stream, and I've been having some issues with some of the software here recently. And actually, Windows might just need a reboot too. That might be a thing. I would give that just a minute. It may... There it goes. There it caught up. Thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting the channel. So if I leave the chaff launcher on the same button like that, will it fire one at a time, or does it fire them both at once? I'm guessing it'll fire one at a time, because that would just be such a pain in the butt if it didn't. Such a pain. Let's launch this thing, see if I can get myself blown up. Actually, if you have them bound to triggers, they all fire at once. Okay. Well, I guess then, let's do this. I don't know. Looks good to me. my ship, so I'm just getting a feel for it. Not too snappy. And I know it's not engineered, so there's a big difference for that. And I don't know where this cockpit sits on the model. I'm assuming about in the middle. That would help also if I pull up my landing gear. That is one bizarre sounding boost. Sorry, I'm moving things around here. The throw on the joystick for the X52 is so damn far. It's still respectable. Takes about 3/4 energy to boost again. Yeah, that's not bad. Goodness. Somebody's yawning. It's definitely interesting. Ah, I just got locked out of my controls. I'm gonna hit the damn station. It definitely, it's got a different feel to the flight of it. It's, I just got locked out of my controls. When it starts moving again, I'll be back in my controls. See how long that took? I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what it is that's doing that. I checked my HOTAS drivers today, and there's no updates or anything for it. Not that this isn't it. Turning around sucks without boost in it, it appears. It looks like it doesn't drift too terribly in even without the engineering. So that's nice. It's better for aiming those rails anyway, I think. Well, let's go take it somewhere and get our butts blown off. He's getting mad. He wants to go out. He wants to go out of this room. Let's see. Where can we go here? I don't really want to go there. I know we're gonna need a tank, especially with it not being engineered. So we probably want to go where some police are. Just kind of take the heat off of us if we need it, or when we need it, not if. So, no, we don't. We definitely don't want a conflict zone. That is not what I wanted to do. We're gonna go over here. Oh, what, Grumpy Pants? You want out of here? It's got a pretty quick recharge on that boost. It's keeping us right around 400 on average.
You have the all clear. FFC signing off.
You grumpy butt. Jackson, he's such a... You're such a baby. I don't like it when you smack my arm. I'm gonna knock stuff off here. I know I'm going really slow at the moment. I'm gonna let him out of here. Because he's wanting to drink or something. Alright, well move, because I don't want to run you over. I don't want to run over your feet. Get over. Back up. Yeah, he wanted to see mom or something. But in case you missed it earlier, we hit affiliate yesterday. We got our 50 followers. 50 follower goal is Jackson, our 140-pound Great Dane, is going to sit in my lap, and that's going to happen on that couch. And let me just, I don't know, show you how it's easier to do it that way. This couch right back here. Right back here. We're going to do it there. I got to fix that camera to get it all set up for it and everything. But that's going to happen next Sunday. It's our puppy stream, and it starts out around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we edit dog photos that we take at a local county shelter as a volunteer photographer. So if you're interested in seeing him squash me, definitely show up for that next Sunday. You can hit that follow. You can follow me on Twitter and stuff, and I'll also update it all there. And I just got locked out again of my controls. When it starts moving, I'll be back. There it is back. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's just the windowed mode or exactly what it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's because I run on windowed instead of... Wow, this thing is amazing in Super Cruise. Holy cow. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you sick. I was getting a feel for the way it handles in Super Cruise, which is really snappy. That I like. Those are my main. Impact, yes. It looks like he's wanting outside. I think that's why he was complaining. And actually, we could turn that off as well. He's not in here right now, so no need to leave it on. That's fun though. I like how reactive it is. Are we gonna... Let's hit it anyway. How with it? What's it gonna do? Kill us? Maybe. That'd be fun. Oh, disengage just before. Look at those mad skills. Okay, no, it was a lot of luck, but... Which one? There we go. Sidewinders and cobras. Well, that sounds like a fun time anyway you slice it. These are probably all here mining in a group.
Richard Garrison has a bounty.
Nope. Now he's in a wing 2 at 2, and he's an explorer. If I take those, I will not survive that. For one, I am nowhere near good enough. But they are, because they like jousting. We got a python here. See what that's about.
Skipper has a bounty.
Oh, here we go. I hate to try to tank him though, especially since I've not fought in this ship before. Oh, there, it doesn't look like I'm gonna have to. Let's get our hard points out here.
From Pirate Marcus Boosterman, do you have anything of value?
Why do I not have... Are my power supplies a problem, or what? No. Combat mode helps, you scrub. And where's he at? Totally, I want foot pedals for these rails. I really do. I think it would help a lot, given how terrible I am.
From NPC Skipper, impossible.
And that's all she's got. Of course, if I would switch over to weapons, I would have a lot more. Don't hit me, please. They hit pretty hard,
From NPC Ilian Rasputina, no.
which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to get a feel again for the flying.
And 7,000 credits received from Democrats of LTP 1557.
Got to put 4 into NG to really get a feel for it. Yeah, and again, this is kind of what I do with the Eagle. I just put on, with an understanding that it's not engineered, kind of what the ship would somewhat represent. How it would fire, how well it would recharge, how it would handle, how it would deal with the heat. And again, I understand that engineering it will change a lot of that significantly. But with that understanding, if it's something so I'm just like, no, that's terrible, I don't want to do that, then I have to go spend all those materials in engineering. But this is a very curious ship to fly. You can tell by flying it that it is a larger ship. But like you were saying as well, you're not really sacrificing much to do it either.
From NPC Utopian Overseer, I don't believe it.
So, what was that, a Corvette? I thought I seen Corvette. An Eagle. I'm sure I would lose terribly to an Eagle.
Richard Garrison has a bounty.
That's that 2 at 2 wing. Asp Scout.
Curtin has a bounty. bounty.
He's in a wing of 3. That's probably, so there's 2 Asp in that wing? No, this is a different wing.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is fair game.
Nope, that is the same wing. Oh, a Clipper.
Len Royal is a legitimate target.
What are they firing at? That's the coppers, isn't it? Oh, he's an elite.
Marcus Osterman has a bounty.
He is wanted. Totally missed that one.
Bounty voucher for
Oh, well, we got him.
credit received for Democrats of LTT 15574. From Police Federal Security.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Submit
It's
authority scans immediately.
it's fun. It kind of feels like that Eagle did. So, you know, I'm happy with that. It's definitely different. I would not have thought to build this ship. So that's kind of cool.
Len Royal is fair game.
I want
Len
this
Royal is a legitimate
Clipper.
target.
I'm scared to shoot him. Ah, what the hell? You only live once, right? And of course you gotta hit him too. You gotta be able to hit him a bit far away to really get a lot of oh shit. Oh, I thought he turned on me immediately. Maybe he did.
My ship is almost done for. Help.
Whoa, overshot that. It's something you definitely have to get a feel for, these rails. And how they work with your ship. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Go, Forrest, go. I knew if I hit him, he was gonna wreck me.
NPC Liam Brady. I don't believe
I knew that was gonna happen.
Pirate Len Royal. Dine out. Reg.
Hopefully the cops will
Attacked
catch
by
him
pirate detective. From Police Federal Security
and take the
Service.
heat off me.
Unit deployed.
Looks like he's not
Unit
firing at me
scans all
anymore.
ships in the area.
Or maybe he's chasing after me, and he hasn't reached me yet. Yep. Oh, there we go. Take that in the hiney. Still kind of far away to be doing what I'm doing. Quite far away. He's staying kind of far away from me though.
From NPC Len Royal. I've taken too many hits.
Ah! I just lost control. Don't do that to me now, you turd. Damn, and his shields are back already. Come on, gimme. Looks like he's off me again. Oh, and he's way out there. I don't think we'll catch him. I don't know what the fall off range was on these rails. Come on. Oh, there's no way. He's almost staying ahead of me. Yeah, no way. But it was fun anyway to try it. We did, got a little trashed. But that was pretty fun anyway. I guess the smart thing to do there, and what I should have done, and I told you guys wouldn't happen before, is that chaff. When he kind of got on me, so I didn't have to go so far away from him. And maybe I would have caught him before he jumped out. Maybe. We are talking about me, so maybe not.
Richard Harrison is a legitimate target.
2-2. I just see shots coming across the bow here. A vulture. That seems like a fun ship too.
Alan Took is a legitimate target. Round 2. No, no.
Whoa, overshot that way too much. And he's out anyway.
Bounty voucher of nearly 65,000 credits received from Democrats.
Simple enough, right?
574.
Yeah. Actually, I've got plenty of those. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Not that. Let's go try that. I'm only 80% hull. Probably gonna lose this ship, but whatever. That's half the fun, right? Really? There we go. We'll go over to this Hazres and see if we can get rocked. And we're not going to fly through a planet to do it. It's amazing how nimble this thing is in Super Cruise. That's crazy. I don't know why. Like, I don't even know what determines how nimble a ship is in Super Cruise. I assume it's the ship itself. It's one of those hidden numbers, kind of like the heat thing. I assume that's what it is anyway. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, it's also in the same ring. That's convenient. That's convenient. We'll drop in here. We'll try to pick on something big, and again, we'll probably get popped for it. And we're not nearly as nimble as we would be engineered. But we'll kind of see how it feels with a bad pilot, and then maybe look at the engineering for it. See what we can do with it. Of course, we'll have to do something for that jump range if that's what we're going to do. Definitely have to do that. Feel free to hit me up on Discord if you want to build or piloting advice, though. Yeah, and I appreciate the lurk. I'm just a bad pilot, but I'm well aware of it. But I do appreciate the offer, I really do. And having you here and getting your feedback and input is always welcome. And even the other viewers that are here really benefit from that kind of knowledge. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. And thanks for leaving the lurk. And we'll see you again soon. I was a bad pilot at once myself. Yeah, and if I become a good pilot, it's going to be by accident. I'm not too worried about it. Again, we just do this stuff for fun. It's more about the community and the conversation that we have. I'm not going to take on a wing of 3 with 3 ships in it by myself.
Waste of time. Hubert H. Twardowski is fair game. Anthony Jones has a bounty. Anthony Lyson is fair game.
It's a Viper. He'll probably wreck me. I'm sure he would if he got on me. Vipers are nasty. And I keep pushing the wrong button.
Twardowski is a legitimate target. Alan Sadi is a legitimate target. Hubert H.
Those
Twardowski has
popping out of range, I
Alan
guess.
Sadi is a legitimate target.
That's why it gives me a targeting issue.
Twardowski is a legitimate target.
That's that wing of 3 I don't care about.
Hubert H. Twardowski is a legitimate target. Alan Sadi
So we'll go over here and see what we can come up with.
Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty. Alan Sadi has a bounty. Hubert H. Twardowski is fair game. Alan Sadi is a legitimate target. Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty.
Federal
Anthony Jones is
dropship. We might be able to. He's clean though. Diamondback Explorer. Probably clean.
Nothing to protect. I'm out of here. Alan
Yes.
Sadi is fair game.
This Viper's getting the tar kicked out of him though. Let me see if we can get close enough to get a shot in, maybe. he's gonna come straight at me. Under attack. Oh, he must have just clipped me when he was shooting. And there he goes. I'm not taking on a wing of 3. That's just... I mean, being here is suicide in itself. I don't need to make it that much worse.
Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty.
Kind of like taking a knife to a gunfight.
Hubert H. Twardowski is a legitimate target.
You fighting in the DBX? Actually, it's a DBS. Commander Leela had kind of thrown together a build for us, and we're just out playing with the what I call the Roland chassis version, which is an unengineered version of it, just to see kind of how it felt, if we liked it, if we didn't. And so far, it's definitely different. The size of the ship, you can feel the size of it, but you don't lose a lot over something smaller. I was working on an Imperial Eagle. It's not bad.
Anthony Jones has a bounty.
Well, it's a maneuverable ship. Can take a whole lot of damage. Can't take a whole lot. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with all the small ships, and I expected that. But the idea is for it to be fun to fly, not necessarily super viable, especially in PvP. Just something that's kind of fun to fly, not worried about losing.
Anthony Lyson is fair game. Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty.
I'm not taking on a wing of 3.
Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty.
And I don't have anything else here right now.
Anthony Lyson is a legitimate target. Hubert H. Twardowski has a bounty. Hubert H. Twardowski is a legitimate target. Hubert H. Twardowski
I need
is a
to tell you
legitimate target.
here if they're in
Hubert H.
a
Twardowski
ring
is a legitimate
or
target.
not.
Hubert H. Twardowski is a legitimate target.
That's another kneel back. You know he's going to be clean. Yep, because he's mining. But what hell, we'll skin him anyway. Maybe we'll get some data out of him. Nope. It's cheap, so if you die, it won't hurt your wallet at least. Yeah, right? But I'm sitting at about 1 billion. So I like to throw ships together all the time and just go die. Yeah, and that's kind of sort of what we're doing. I'm still learning. Let me back up a minute. I've been playing this game pretty much since launch. Let me phrase that again. I started playing this game at launch. That didn't last too long. At the time, the police AI was really bad, and it kept running into my ships and blowing me up, and money was harder to come by then. So, I got tired of it, and I sent FDev a letter at the time. It was like, I'm not playing this anymore. It's a cool concept, but I'm tired of losing my ship every day because some cop wants to hit me in the side. And I messed with it from time to time since then, only for a little bit. And then Horizons came out, and I've been back for now, I don't know, 3 months or so, relearning a lot of it, figuring out the engineer thing and all that's been going on now. So I'm still learning it, and that's kind of why we're doing this. Some of the more experienced pilots that hop in and recommend things, or maybe they see things that they're not sure of, and we get some other experienced people in here to kind of share their thoughts and wisdom. But that's what mostly this channel is about. We're pretty chill. It's not too serious. It's not overhyped. If you just like a nice chill stream to sit and BS for a while, you're definitely in the right place, and we'd love to have you. He's not happy about something. Off, but hey, talk to you later. I'm gonna fetch some Stellaris, and then stream is starting. All right, well, cool. Good luck with that, and I hope you have a great stream. Thanks for stopping by again. He stopped and looked in my window and wagged his tail. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just annoying Gracie or what. Probably. That's kind of his thing. When he wants to play, nobody will. He'll annoy the crap out of Gracie until she just really gets tired of it and corrects him. Is that all we're gonna have? Is this wing of 3 ever? Maybe I need to reload the instance. This is that Keelback, isn't it? Keelback, or how you pronounce it. Yeah, it's Keelback. Keel something. Trying to see how low. So it's not quite 3/4 capacitor in order to
Hubert H. Twardowski is fair game.
boost again. Yeah, he's clean. Alright, well, we're just gonna reload the instance. That seems like the best plan at the moment. If I can get out of mass lock. Coffee, coffee, coffee. You guys like coffee? You coffee drinkers? Do you have a preference? Make your own coffee, buy your coffee, grind your coffee. Pour over. Percolator. How do you like it? I don't really have a specific preference other than the fact of time. So I've got a really nice coffee maker. I spent a lot of money on it. And I can't see any of that. I'm just gonna hit it. Am I very far away? That's not too bad. No, actually it is kind of bad. 45. We'll see if we get ships. Oh, we're still getting ships to show up. But it's just, you know, your regular old drip maker. But it's not bad. I mean, overall, it makes a pretty good cup of coffee. The downside is, well, it's a down and an upside. I got a 60-ounce coffee maker because I drink a lot of coffee if I have the time to do it. I'm at home. And I also got a thermal carafe because for that reason that I'm the biggest coffee drinker in the house. I drink it quite often throughout the day rather than it sitting on a warmer and burning. I prefer it out of a carafe, and it'll keep that. If I don't open it too much and I kind of pay attention to it, it'll keep coffee drinkably hot for damn near 24 hours, which is amazing. I think. An eagle. I really don't want to fight an eagle because that'll just be a joust fest. There's another scout. Is he by himself? It doesn't look like it. Nope, he's in wing of 3 and he's clean anyway. Looks like that's pretty much all we got right at the moment is a bunch of eagles. I don't know, maybe I can two-shot him or something. Maybe not. Not in a wing of 3, I won't. How rude. Being a complete waste of time and effort. What a turd. Just trying to find out something we can shoot at without totally getting smashed. They're all in wings. Maybe we should have stayed in that high that we were in instead of this Hazres. Because all we have here really is wings. So far anyway. JB Digital Geek, how are you today, sir? Great to see you. I hadn't seen you in a little while. Of course, I stream very weird hours, very weird schedule. But yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're goofing around in a DBS at the moment that Commander Leela helped us play around and build a little with some theory crafting. And I'm in a Hazres right now. I wanted to test it against a bigger ship. See if I could kind of stand with the guns, use my chaff a bit, make sure it's something I like before I spend a bunch of money engineering on it. But this Hazres is not doing as much good. Everything's in wings, and it's just a suicide in a little ship like this to try to fight a wing. I mean, I do a lot of dumb things, but that just seems really dumb. I guess we're going to go back to that high. At least there we had more that weren't in wings, and we had some bigger ships. Do you use a flight control system too? I used a SciTech X52 Pro. I don't know. I don't know if you can still get this version or not. This is like the previous before. I think SciTech sold it to Logitech. I think that's how that happened. I could be wrong. But I have the previous one, the older version. And I really enjoy it. But yes, and everything I have, all my build and stuff is down below. If you look down below in the panels, there's an Amazon thing there too that shows you all my equipment. It's in the Amazon list and it's in a Gara list. So either way, that's what I use. I thought I put I guess I didn't. Oh, it was quicker to ask. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. It's just, it's a long list. So rather than sit here and try to remember everything and ramble it off, that was the gist of it. And specific to your question. And the rest of it you can catch down below. But thanks for asking. Yeah, today's normally our variety day, but I hadn't got to play Elite in a while. Kind of missing the community. Missing Elite in general. So we're here streaming some Elite today. And we did hit, you may not have been here to catch it earlier, we did hit affiliate. We hit our 50 followers. So for that goal, Jackson, who I think you met before, our 140-pound Great Dane, next Sunday, around 3 o'clock, we'll probably start up and wait for everybody to kind of show up. He's going to be sitting in my lap on stream. I'm sure he's going to love that. But definitely come and check that out. Just curious though, I want to get this game. Trying to figure out if I should just buy it and use mouse and keyboard so I can afford the rest. Well, here's the thing to that. Now, I know that Commander Leela might still be here lurking. I believe Commander Leela is a keyboard user. The way that I've figured for this game and the things that I've heard, if you're a novice player or intermediate player, you're probably better off with a HOTAS of some kind, or even a console controller if you're good with those controllers. There's a lot of keybinds though. If you're a more advanced player or you like PvP, you're probably better to go mouse and keyboard. It is harder to fight, in my opinion. It's harder to fight and fly with them, but it's more accurate and more easier to control the ship in your own fashion rather than dealing with the inaccuracies of motor skill placement and things like that. Not that you can't do either or the same, but that seems to be the trend. So I would kind of place yourself where you want to be. You can play it with a mouse and keyboard. Definitely doable. Most of the advanced players play it that way. Nothing wrong with that. Or you can fly with a mouse and throttle with a throttle hood. You can really configure it however you want. So kind of up to you and what you're comfortable with and what you like and when not used to simulators. So, really your choice. And if you have not yet purchased Elite Dangerous, I of course highly recommend you do, especially if you like science fiction in any way, shape, or form. I do have a Humble Bundle link below. You can click that, go there. It's also on sale from time to time. I don't think it is right now. About once every 3 months or so, I think it goes on sale. And it's not really that badly priced either. Anyway, but you can pick it up through there. That helps support channel a bit if you don't kind of have your own thing you're doing. I'll use your link and throw it in my notepad. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It helps. It means a lot to a little guy like me. Just a little fish in a big pond. Really been enjoying it though. I've been enjoying the community, enjoying streaming in general. A lot more than I used to. Many years ago, many moons ago, I did stream. This was back when Twitch was Justin TV. And they were making that transition. Very short period of time did I try it out. It was pretty rough back then. And just got back into it recently, a little over a month ago. So we're doing great, and I'm enjoying it. And this gravity well is crazy. But it's a fun game. It's a tough-ish game to stream because you're relying solely on people that enjoy this game, you or the community specifically. Because it's not a very action-packed game. Unless you're a PvPer or something, then perhaps it is. I personally am not. It's just not really my thing. I've never enjoyed it that much. I enjoy more of the science side and the technical side and the logistical side than I do the combat side specifically. Yeah, I noticed that Rick's got a ton of ED people. Yeah, and it's a fairly, at the moment anyway, it's a fairly tight-knit community. I mean, a lot of people know a lot of the other people that hang around the streams and whatnot. You ever play Kerbal Space Station? That's a very cool. I've played Kerbal Space. I thought it was Kerbal Space Programmer or something like that. I don't know. Yes, I have. As long as they're one and the same and there's not like two of them out there. Yes, I have. Oh yeah, it's program. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I misremembered it. Yes, I have, and that's a really good thinking game, and I like it too. I don't know that I'd ever want to stream it though, really. If you like science fiction and you like spaceships, and I'll mention this to everybody, this is a super cool single player game that is absolutely beautiful. It has a bit of storyline to it. I have not been through the whole storyline, but it's kind of cool. If you've never played it, it's called Everspace. You can click that link, it'll take you there. It might still be on sale. But it is a gorgeous game. It kind of plays more like an old school type of simulator. It's got crafting, it's got leveling, it's got ship unlocks in it. It's a really exciting game. I do have it in a VOD as well if you're curious about seeing some of the gameplay before you make that kind of purchase. If you go to my videos on demand, it should still be there. If it's not, it's definitely on YouTube. You can go over to my YouTube channel and check it out if you just want to kind of see the gameplay. But super neat game. It's, of course, doesn't have a big following on Twitch or anything. But it's definitely cool, and it's brutal. When you get started in it, that game will whoop a knot on your head until you get your stuff together a bit. So it's not easy mode either. I think there is different levels of difficulty, but even on normal, which I think is what I did, it's pretty tough, but it's pretty cool too. And again, with the storyline, and I have not, I'm gonna hit that rock. I haven't played enough of it to tell you that whether or not the full storyline is great. But it does have story to it. It's not just a get in it and fly ship.
From NPC Jake's LE mod. Too much damage.
And I'm kind of half-ass flying around here, looking for some targets. Well,
Jake's LE mod has a bounty.
well, he might have a bounty, but it looks like he's dead. I'm not having too much luck finding good targets. Okay, here, where'd he go? There he is. Here's a python, or cobra rather. He's mining. He's gonna be clean. They must know I'm out here to try to test this thing out, so I'm not gonna be much to shoot at. That first site we were in did. It gave me quite a few to shoot at, but since then it has not. Diamondback Explorer.
From NPC John Adams. You fight a good fight.
Something's getting plugged at over here. Quite a ways away.
Is a legitimate target.
Looks like he is the one, and I just went to target him and totally lost him.
Justice. Do you have anything of value?
No, I don't want you. He might have went Cool Running.
John Adams.
Anybody ever watch that movie, Cool Runnings? Damn it! Not fast enough on that.
Nothing worthwhile while here.
Sorry, lurk for a second. The music was very loud in that trailer. It looks cool. I think it's on my wish list on Steam. Cool. Does Humble do the same thing like Steam, where if it's on sale, they email you? I'm not sure. The way that Humble Bundle works, to my understanding, is when they have either publisher sales or sale of the weeks, they send you an email saying, here's a list of stuff that you can pick up. I don't know if they actually have a wish list or not. I've not looked for that. That's a very good question. But you can. Here's a little known fact about Humble Bundle. And I say little known, I just don't think people really notice it if you don't use Humble Bundle a lot. When you purchase something, even if it's through an affiliate link like the one I provided,
Bob Justice. I can see when I'm outmatched.
when you purchase a game, you can decide how those funds are distributed between the publisher, the non-for-profit agency that it goes to, and the streamer. Is it publisher? It's developer, the streamer, the non-profit, and Humble Bundle tip. There's 4 sliders, but you have to expand a drop-down that they don't make very conspicuous
From Escort Grimble.
to
Life
do
is
that.
almost done for.
Not that Humble Bundle isn't worth tipping well, but I have found personally sometimes that tip's a little heavy as compared to the other things. So make sure you put the money the way you want it distributed, how you feel most comfortable with, whether that's most or all of it to the nonprofit or a little developer. Tweak it however you like. I added it to my wish list, and it said you'd email me, so you can share it for other people. Oh, cool. Well, good to know. Yeah, again, I haven't tried it. I do have a few games on my wish list on Steam, but most of those are stuff that hasn't been released yet. So I haven't even looked on Humble Bundle to see. But I've really enjoyed using Humble Bundle, and it really supports some of the nonprofits as well. More so if you kind of pay attention to how you distribute those funds. And the pay what you want thing is good. And I assume the way that works, the developer has to totally be on board. Oh, we got an anaconda here.
Matt Falconer is a legitimate target.
No! Did he? Oh, he went go running, that's why. I'm probably going to draw his attention with these reels.
You find a good fight.
I'm way too far away from him to do much damage. No, you don't. Ah, and I missed him with that one. I'm about at my maximum. A little over max for that. There we go. There's my heat. Hey, we got him. Well, we didn't. I think he just, in general, exploded.
From Police Federal Security Service. Crime scene coordinate initial is all ships must submit to police scan. From Police
And
Federal
this
Security
thing,
Service.
refined
Response
focus
team is
crystal.
Security sweep and scan commencing.
Where is that at? That we will take. Get off me, bro. We will definitely pick that up. I have not picked up cargo in this ship before, so this should be interesting. The engine in this are kind of curious. At first, I was going to say that I didn't like it, but it's kind of growing on me. The way they sound. Those might be needed. No, we're full on those. Yeah. I think we're good on the rest of that. Yeah. These all police? Let's find out.
Developer in his fair game.
He's in a wing. The anaconda is a copper doodle.
Taldos is a legitimate target.
He's in a wing. What are they all shooting at? Is this a little cobra or a viper? It's a viper.
Developer in his fair game.
Man, they're in that wing. I'm gonna get my butt kicked for doing this, but... Oh, never mind. He got his butt kicked for doing that. Nothing in there we really want.
Taldos has a bounty.
Well, a wanted explorer and a wanted viper, I think. Where's he at? Oh, he's above me.
Paul Kennedy is fair game.
He's in a wing as well. And I missed him. Ah, if I would have hit that, I would have got the bounty on it. But, you know, we're not really out here for the money. We're out here to get a feel for this ship, which so far is seeming like it's being pretty fun. Clean.
Taldos has a bounty.
We've been streaming now for about 3 hours. I think I'm gonna take a short break and stretch my legs. I don't have anything in my cargo. I don't think they're gonna kill me for being here, and if they do, oh well. We're in this system anyway.
From NPC Taldos.
But we're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna refill my coffee. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm gonna stretch my legs. If you've been here with me this entire stream, you're an absolute saint. And I thank you for that. Make sure you get up and do that as well. Keep those legs pumping. Walking keeps blood circulating to your body, helps prevent things like blood clots and that of the nature. Don't sit for too long. Drink plenty of liquids. I'm drinking coffee, which is a diuretic, which is not conducive to what I just said. So do as I say, not as I do, right? But thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take a short break, and next we'll be back with probably a little more shooting stuff in the DBS, and then we'll see if we want to go engineer it, or maybe we want to go do something else. I'll kind of leave that up to you guys. But give me a few minutes here, and I will be right back. Be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Alright. Oh, I needed that. Getting kind of stiff sitting in this chair. Why am I not hearing my music? At all. Is it really that quiet?
From Police Federal Security Service.
Yes.
Crime scene
Let's
warning
just
initiative.
switch to the next
All
song.
ships must submit to police scan.
I don't know if it's any better. We'll see. Well, I think... I don't know. I got so much stuff. You know what? Another thing I wanted to do. I don't know how you do it. Is unlocking the Guardian fighters. I think that would be fun. I forgot my drink. Doggone it. I was talking to the wife. I forgot it sitting in there. Unlocking those Guardian fighters. I want to see how we do that. Let's do that. Let's check that out. Let's head back to the station here. Already out of mass lock. Yeah, I think this would be fun to engineer. It's kind of expensive to engineer though. Especially since we kind of already did the Eagle. I thought. Oh. My hard points are showing. Gotta put those up first. Fly back, dock this thing up. We'll hop over and take a look. I'll see if it's something I can Google quickly or if it's going to take a lot more research. Or if I might already have the stuff it takes to unlock it. I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to unlock it. We did do some Guardian stuff. We got our frame shift drive booster unlocked. We also got the shield booster unlocked. But I don't know if we have enough stuff to do the fighter as well. I'm going to guess no, that we do not. I really need to go get my drink. I'm going to do that. After we get over here and get docked, I'm going to go grab it real quick. Puppies are getting anxious. It's almost their food time. And holy cow, what is up with this gravity well we were stuck in, apparently. Jackson is pacing. That usually means he's going to get into trouble before long. I still can't get over how nimble this ship is in Super Cruise. Very, very curious. Sorry, I'm playing with that, not paying attention, but as nimble as this thing is, well, I don't think we can do a 3-second approach, but we could probably do a 4. Probably. Yep, they're going out. Second. Yeah, it's quite a bit of fun to fly. As long as you're not worried about the looks, because it is ugly as you know what. But, very nimble.
Federal Flight Control would like to welcome you to this facility. Authorization cleared. You are go for approach pad 28.
Landing pad 28 is at 1 o'clock mid, as you enter with green lights on your right.
See if I can hit the ship next to me. And since we haven't flown this ship much, we're just kind of trial and error, seeing what we can do, how nimble it is. It doesn't seem to slide a ton, which is awesome. That it doesn't.
Decrease your speed to 100.
28. Pretty nimble. Stops really well. Slows down really well. It feels like a much smaller ship than it is, which is pretty cool.
Docking complete.
Pretty cool indeed.
Landing sequence completed. Ground crew have been dispatched.
Your Diamondback Scout is now fully refueled. Your Diamondback Scout repair.
Well,
Your Diamondback Scout rearm.
let's go over here. And let's look at Elite Dangerous Garden How to get Guardian. Okay, maybe it's in here in the wiki. Perhaps, or in this particular wiki. Which one was it he was flying the other day? I think it was this one. Oh, those are all three the same one, I guess? Oh, name and manufacturer, so they are different. These all fighter models? Yeah, these are all fighter models. Okay, we want to learn how to navigate this page. That's what we want. Fighter hangars, pilot, crew members, no. No. Manufacturer. Is that Guardian? Ramta? It looks like the fighter I was thinking about. Yeah, that is the fighter I was thinking about. Well, that one looks the same to me. 7, 8, and 9. Trade-off: when other smaller fighters, they have weaker hulls. To acquire hybrid fighter blueprint, you need to investigate the new Guardian beacons, which will point you in the direction of the sites to investigate. Limitations. Well, this isn't overly helpful. I wanted to see what the requirements were for the blue, because usually at the traders they just want a certain amount of tech, this, that, or the other, and that's what I wanted to see is the requirements. The Trident, the Javelin, and the Lance are the hybrids. All the hybrids are the Guardians. So yeah, all three of these are the Guardians. Guardian vessel blueprint segment. Okay, those are segments we do not have. Just briefly browsing over this. The beacons will expose its data for scanning data link scanner on which it presents a single ancient key. The process can be repeated with the same beacon to obtain multiple keys. If found activating the beacons provided location data for new configuration of Guardian structures, the ancient data terminals, and these sites can be unlocked. The ancient key is scanned to acquire Guardian vessel blueprints. Well, while that's cool, that's not overly helpful, in my opinion. Guardians, huh. Definitely didn't want that. It's actually still called a vessel blueprint. Well, where are these things at? Locations. There's no locations on here. Not on the list. There is no list. Oh, well, I guess if we hit expand, there might be. B2, B1, B2. Let's just kind of see how far these things are away. That might tell us a bit about what kind of ship we might need to fly to get out there. To where we're going. Galaxy map. Holy goodness. That's 809. We're going to go ahead and bookmark it just so we have it there and mark it. there's a lot of them. That's about as far, same area. That's a little bit further. No, it's about the same. It's all look to be in that general vicinity. This one, still, well, I say the same, it's targeting the wrong thing. 648, that's the closest so far. HIP, that's way out there. 734. Wow, here's a long one. Way out there. Alright, so 391, that one. I think we tried this one though. That's 734. That other one's still closer. So I guess that is where we're gonna go. It's 648, so what kind of filters do we have? Okay, we've got everything set here. So now we need to back up. We're gonna take, let's see what the Phantom looks like with that. Oh, what storage chips? The Phantom has a respectable jump range. I mean, we can take the jump conda. If this is ridiculous.
Storing your Diamondback Scout and transferring to June. You have a size 2 SRV hangar. It has a SRV Sierra.
If it's ridiculous.
It has 1 rebuild remaining.
Why it put us there, I don't know. That's only 16 jumps. Yeah, it might even be faster if we do neutrons, but honestly, I'm not opposed to just doing it that way. I don't know, we'll go out there, see what it's about. We have everything we need on here, and this ship can do pretty much everything. Make sure everything looks good. There's a data link scanner. Everything's repaired, right? It is. Well, let's just head that way. I was gonna grab my drink, and oh, getting up and stretching made me want to stretch again.
Docking flaps free.
And I need to move that window over.
Depart when ready, Commander.
This is a fun ship. It does slide quite a bit, but it's pretty fast too. This is what I do most of my stuff in. And who doesn't like those boosters? We're gonna get into Super Cruise here, and I'm gonna grab my drink.
Station perimeter. Goodbye, Commander.
Come on, you can do it. So I better wait till I get on the other side of this, because my luck I'll land on the sun.
Democracy with a population of on the way to 4
get
48,000 souls.
stuck and run into the damn
Planet
thing.
Kuiper is the immediate faction. There is just one orbital station in the system.
That'll happen. That's a thing.
Completing system scan. Stand by.
Let's scoop real quick. And this doesn't fill up near as fast as my Jump Anaconda does, but it still fills up.
Chui is now at maximum fuel capacity.
I did not want that. Where the hell? Wow, that's bad. I don't remember where the hell my button is to swap my fire groups. That's bad. That's what I get for playing this game like once a week. Which, oh, there it is. It's that one. Okay, they already got the scan off. I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. I'm just gonna leave this screen on right here. Be right back. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we had 16 jumps. So this is going to take us just a minute. We'll just kind of scan as we go. I mean, not like we're going to find anything, but that was the closest planet I could find. I've not done one of these. Oh, that's what it is. So that's the beacon, and the beacon sends you to the... And what were we headed to? Were we headed to a beacon or a structure? I gotta wait till I land, because I may have just totally went to the wrong place. I'm gonna go ahead and fuel up and get away from the sun. Just to be safe.
Chui's fuel reserves now at 97% capacity.
Okay. 2391. I see 2391. And B3 deck 6. That is the beacon. Do we have to go to the beacon to get to the structure? Like, is that a step you have to take, or is it just point you in the right direction? Ancient data terminals. These sites can be unlocked with ancient keys and scanned. Can be unlocked with ancient keys. I don't know. We'll go do the beacon just to find out, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you need the bacons or not, but we'll find out, I guess. Oh, my belly's starting to get hungry too. We're gonna have to eat dinner before long. It's about 3:40 here Central Time.
This is your first visit to the system.
Mouse
This system
at.
is not populated.
There it is. I found that sometimes if I have my mouse off the window of Elite Dangerous and I click a button, it also acts as a mouse button and totally screws me up. Okay, we did. I was say, why did it untarget? It didn't. I just didn't look at it right.
Refuel.
Cool down a touch. On to the next. Yeah, I've got to fix that newest subscriber thing too. I don't know why.
Adjusting
Broken.
the jump.
Telemetry obtained. Pertaining to a
It
Metis
shouldn't
system.
be.
You have entered Federation space.
Hyperspace
This is your
velocity
first visit to
reached.
the system. Metistine is a Federation corporate of well over 56,500 souls, aligned to Felicia Windus.
Key systems
Metistine
at
partners is the
optimal
immediate faction.
levels. Ready
There are
for
2 orbital
exit.
stations and 1 planetary station in the system. You are now 174 light years from
I'm
LT.
Trying to fix that on the fly here while we're jumping. Another thing too, I think I turned on Elite Dangerous music the other day because we were listening to it instead, and I think both are running, and that's a little bit irritating. Audio, music. No, it's muted. Okay. I thought maybe it's just the song now. I thought I heard both of them going at the same time.
Jump in progress. Call 285 Sector DG-TB18-2 system. You are leaving Federation space. This is your first visit to the system.
Oh, I'm leaving
There is no human
Federation
presence here.
space. What a shame.
Scanning for information.
So it's gonna be a little bit of a shot, and then we're gonna have to go a little bit further to get to the site. But that's all right. What we may even do is we're gonna get out here to the beacon. We'll see how far the site is away. If it's not too far, we'll go there as well. And then we'll probably cut for a bit to eat some dinner and whatnot, and handle some business, and then pick it up again this afternoon.
Telemetry obtained. Traveling with call 285 Sector
Frameship now
TY-RD4-119 system.
engaged.
This is your
No
first visit to the
anomalies
system.
detected.
You are 260 light years from home.
All systems check out. No unusual activity.
Fuel levels are at 84%.
No unusual activity.
Completing systems.
I'm here.
Stand
That's
by.
unusual,
Gathering
isn't it?
information. Cartography has now been updated.
At least I think so.
Maximum fuel.
Where? Don't want that. Overlays.
Jump in progress.
Event
Call
list.
285 Sector PS-JC9-21 system. This is your first visit to the system. Current location is 303 light years from LTT-15574.
Latest subscriber is right there.
Scanning.
Look at it again here in a second. I don't want to burn up in the sun.
Refuel.
Cool down a touch. Get below 50%. Yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't be.
Jumping to next system.
Destination confirmed. IP50-6 system. This is your first visit to the system.
Let's go over to data. Well, it shows up in the latest data, but it doesn't show up in the damn widget.
Stand by.
Look at that.
Gathering information. Cartography has now
And
been
again, we're
updated.
kind of... Since we've got a few jumps to go anyway, I'm kind of diagnosing a little overlay issue while we grind along. Let's see if we can fix it. Because I don't understand. It shows it right there.
Leaving system.
Jump in progress.
But over here it does not.
This is your first visit to the system.
Completing system scan. Stand by.
So there's latest subscriber, latest new subscriber, latest resubscriber. Wow, that's just crazy. Well, that one worked, so... But the other one doesn't make any sense.
Transit to the Sinu FI-WB49-3 system. This is your first visit to the system.
Confirming exit point telemetry.
125 and 12.
Gathering information. Cartography has now been updated.
8 bodies.
Tune is now
Fill
at
her
maximum
up.
fuel capacity.
And 5. 12.
Jump in progress. Transit to the Sinu BB-MC24-16
Maximum
system.
velocity
This is your first
engaged.
visit to the system. You are 471 light years from home.
Color.
Key systems are at optimum levels, readying for exit.
Don't want to get nuked.
Completing system scan. Stand by. Gathering information. Cartography has now been updated.
I don't know. Puzzled why one would show up and the other one would not. Cool down a little. Position size. $41.
Course adjustment.
I have to try tonight as well and see if I can get that other music list loaded up.
This is your first visit to the system. Fuse fuel levels are at 85%.
Ooh, smack the microphone. Sorry about your ears. Good stuff. That's all right. So we just about got that. I'm gonna widen this up a bit. $55 settings center.
Course adjustment.
Destination confirmed. Heading WIC
That was
2917
41.
WC1-1.
Kind of self-diagnosing one of these problems we're having with an overlay. To fix it real quick, while we make a couple of jumps out of this Guardian site.
Engaging exit protocols.
There's a few jumps out. We're going to the beacon first
Stand
because
by.
I don't know if you need to go to the beacon to get something to go to the site, or if you can just go straight to the site. Since we've not done it, we'll go anyway. See what it's all about.
Refuel.
Do not want that. Do not want animation settings. Okay, I think we have it fixed for the moment. Save. Looks like it showed up now.
Leaving system.
Destination confirmed. En route to the IC-2391 sector JX-TB3-11 system. Arrival start is not skippable. This is your first visit to the system.
Yeah, it's a little off center though. I need to fix that. But did I get on the right? Yeah, I did.
Gathering information.
Oh, hot
Cartography
stuff.
has now been updated.
But we'll see. Actually, that's a little high now. I had to adjust that camera height a while ago, and it looks like I overdid it. Let me fix that as well. So I do need to center that up a little better. Editor. Maybe.
Jump into next system.
Destination confirmed. Please in transit to the IC-2391 sector HW-WC1-7 system. This is your first visit to the
Exit
system.
destination confirmed.
And save.
Arrival in 5, 4, 3, 2.
There we go.
Fuel tanks are now at 73%. Commander.
Scanning for
Mouse. Yeah,
information.
we'll fill up. He's complaining right now, but he'll be all right. All kinds of fuel, but just to make sure it stays that way, we might as well top it off.
Refuel.
I'm not going that far from the bubble. I think it's 600 and something light years. Not bad. I don't know how much further the site is away from that though. That I'm curious about. I'm trying to adjust this camera just a little.
Jump.
Telemetry obtained. Heading to the IC-2391 sector MX-TB3-6
Interstellar
system.
velocity at
This
maximum.
is your first visit to the system.
Yeah, it's better. It's still now it's a little bit low again, but whatever. We'll manage.
Engaging exit protocols.
I got so much
Tanks are
stuff
now
to
at
straighten up.
100% capacity.
Again, I really thank you guys for putting up
Stand by.
with all the weird goings on.
That's
I've only been upstream about a month now, so we're getting used to everything, getting a lot of bugs worked out, and things of that nature. Are we here? We are here. Okay, there's the beacon. Show me the bacon. We're gonna go over here and check that out. Not too far from us. Close all that madness. And oh, we didn't overshoot it. I heard the engine speed up and I thought for sure we were gonna blow past it. But not yet. And I've never been to a Guardian Beacon. So, my first time, I am a Virgin Guardian Beacon visitor. Again, I don't even know if we really needed to come here, but what the hell, we hadn't been to one before, so might as well come see what it's about. This is probably the part where I get my ass shot off, right? Is that how that works? Always learn the hard way. I like this ship though, this Phantom. It's a pretty good build. Very versatile. Does almost everything you want. As far as exploration and stuff goes. It won't do mining or transport with a hoot, but everything else it does really good. Decent jump range, 45 light years. Good size fuel tank, good size scoop. If anybody's interested in it, let me know. I have to rebuild it in Coriolis because I've lost my other link. Happy to do so. If it's something you guys want or like. Almost there. Yeah, interesting. I'll tell you what we're gonna do though. Because I've never been here, we're gonna stop that music. We're gonna go over options. We're gonna turn the game audio back on. And see if there's any cool stuff. Cool sounds to be heard here. I think I remember seeing a video about one of these once. There's something we have to shoot. I think it's these things right here. Yep.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
Really? So we want... Yeah, we have to charge these. Oh, I see. It kind of activated for us. Oh, cockpit mode's out. I take it that's one. I don't know if anything spawns or not. I don't think so, but it might. Why is it aimed so far back? Don't we have to hit? Maybe we can hit it anywhere. I don't know. Give you 3 minutes. I'm assuming 3 minutes to just shoot these things? How? I don't know. Oh my gosh. We'll smack it. Why not? Come on, I'm backing up. Why am I stuck on this thing? Am I stuck in the model now? No, not now. Or is it pulling me in or something? That's interesting. Now what?
Data scan of ancient pylon completed.
Was there something else I needed to do, or was that it? I didn't see that I received anything. I think it was just the data for that site, so maybe we didn't need to come here after all. I think it's resetting now. Probably could have just went straight to the site. Nope, there's the key. So we did have to come here to get the key for the site. I'm guessing we have to scoop it. precarious location, though. See if we can do this without beating the hell out of the ship. Of course, this gap could be much larger than it appears to me on this screen.
Ancient key now on board.
What am I bouncing around on? Okay, so now we have a key. That's for trading. Like, I think it's supposed to give you the location of a planet, which, I mean, we can cheat and get it off the wiki, but I'm just curious how it works. I don't know how it works. Because it's supposed to give you the location, I think. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Let's go back over here. Wherever in the heck it went, I had a screen open. So we're at 36, and that goes to the system structure on A3. Here. Looks like it's only jump away. And I'm just gonna leave the game audio on for now. Since we've never done this stuff, we might hear some new tracks I haven't really heard before. No, we didn't, man. Not that far. One jump away. We can get off mass lock. Holy cow. Well, it's kind of loud. It is on my end. Sure it is for you guys as well. A little bit louder than we would prefer.
Telemetry obtained. PIC-2391 sector FL-XB1-7.
So here we want to go to planet A3. It seems. I'm a little leery without knowing what to do with this key about doing it, screwing it up and losing the key and having to go back and do it all over again.
Completing system scan. Stand by.
Which, I guess that's how you learn though, right?
Fuel scooping complete.
Chui is now fully refueled.
There's the structure. It shows up right on our map too. How far is it away? Not very far. On A3. Entirely too fast for that. We cannot pull off 3 seconds. We could have pulled off 4, but not 3. What do we got here? 3 planets? Kind of cool. 4 planets? Oh no, that's ancient ruins. Which is kind of cool. I didn't know they were here. Maybe we'll go take a look at that here in a few just to see what that's about. Or in a bit, should I say. Because who knows how long this madness will take.
Orbital flight engaged.
Still too much of an angle, or not enough of an angle, should I say? There we go. We'll go down here and see what this is about. I imagine it's another SRV thing, like the other Guardian sites. I don't know. I've not been here. So if you haven't either, we're experiencing something together at this point. This is a medium ship, so it's going to be a little bit easier to land than if we had brought the Anaconda. Should drop out right on top of this thing. If it doesn't move too much by going down. I probably should have looked at the G-force of this planet before my dumbass decided to boost, because look at this, I'm going to skim off this thing. It's only 0.3. So, just about face planted that. Glad this thing has a quick boost charge on it. Let's see what we got here. Is this a typical Guardian key fragment site or whatever? No. So I imagine, like other Guardian sites, pillars are going to pop out of the ground and we got to charge them in a certain amount of time. Is this where the fragment comes up at? Looks like it. Sure does look like it.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
Can't do any scanning of that. Sure acted like we could though. Does it do? I don't think so. Well, maybe it will. Huh. So you can do a composition scanner on that. Very curious, very cool. See anything over here? There probably will be. Something comes out of the ground. Kind of like the other Guardian sites for unlocking the FSD booster and things of that nature. It's curious though. Almost looks like a crashed ship than it does. Oh, there was something there. What was that? Wow, this thing does not want to sit still. Is it an obelisk or cask or something? Oh, it's a tablet. I think I already have all those anyway. Scanning it's not going to do me any good. So we've got tablets around. We have obelisks probably to scan. Not in this fashion, but... Codex entry no trait found. Press O. Review. Guardian Codex entry. Well, this is kind of cool. Something new. I want to take this ship back up by where I think everything's going to come out at. Should be up here. See if we can land up here somewhere. Not bounce off the ground. Oh, there was a spot. Very small spot. Which probably won't let us land because it's so small. Yep, now I can't even see it. Now it's unlandable as I get here. There it is.
Touchdown.
Hey, what do you know?
Coordinates are 25.48 degrees latitude, minus 130.
So we've been streaming about 4 hours, not too long. I'm getting hungry. I need to fix some dinner. Puppies are going to have to go out before long. And all that great stuff. I tell you what I think we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to end the stream here. And we'll come back on in a little while. After we get some dinner and stuff, in a couple hours probably. And we'll stream for a lot of the remainder of the evening. We're gonna try to finish this and unlock those Guardian Fighters. Just because I think it would be really cool to do so. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go over here. Let's see who all we have on right now. Unlocking engineers. Trying to see, I've only got one person on my friends list. I'm trying to see who else is on that we might want to go by and see. And visit. And I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing too many people right now. So we're going to go over and see this guy. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Now, apparently. There we go. We're going to go over and raid Old Depressed Gamer real quick. I know some of you are kind of lurking here, and that's cool too. If you are here, just join us. Come over, just say hi. Check them out. Feel like I'm throwing a follow. If you don't, that's cool too. Expose you to a few more people in the game. This is an older gentleman. He's been around for a while. Actually, older, more experienced gentleman. Been around for a while. So we're going to head over there and say hello to him for a minute, and then I'll be back on here in a little while, and we're gonna finish unlocking these Guardian Fighters. So I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for visiting the channel and chit chatting with me. I really appreciate it. And we will talk to all of you shortly.